presents the Stanley Cup Playoffs.
Canadian Sabres, an Atlantic Division final in the bedlam of KeyBank Center.
Let's go get the second one.
Hello, Canada and hockey fans of the United States and Newfoundland.
This is Hockey Night in Canada on Sportsnet.
You want action? We've got action for you here tonight.
He's got a step. He's in. Scores!
Absolutely amazing.
Wow. First off, thank you, Wolfgang Van Halen. Yes, Eddie's son. Don't need a crowd to have a party, but it doesn't hurt. Just seeing Lindy at the end of the tees there, I would say the two most lovable teams to ever meet. Someone in this test has got to be the one to detest. Anyway, good evening. Welcome to Hockey Night in Canada. Luke Gazdik's in tonight with Kelly and Kevin. When Don Granato had, so Montreal, youngest team in the NHL, they're growing into their great. Don Granato coached them when they were in their teens and early 20s, and now they're, reaching their prime. But he had Zach Benson when he was 18 years old. They were playing the Stanley Cup champion Vegas Golden Knights. He scored the game winner. He came into the room after Granato said they just got bennied, the champions. Montreal got bennied. Now it's Montreal's turn. What do you think?
Okay, for the Sabres, it's all about attitude, and Rasmus Dahlin. So earlier in the year I was there, they were struggling, and he kept coming to the rink in a great mood. And somebody asked him, how come you're always in such a great mood? He goes, other years when we struggled, we'd all come to the rink in a bad mood, and it didn't help anything, so we're going to change that.
Montreal's got to do a better job of managing the puck, or else it's going to be another long night of Buffalo off the rush. I think we see a big game from number 13, my good buddy Cole Caulfield.
Demidov, score a goal tonight.
Kyle Bukauskas is the next voice you'll hear. It's Game 2 in Buffalo. Enjoy.
The Olays began in this building over an hour ago. More red littered throughout KeyBank Center tonight. They know how big this one is for the Canadiens. As Martin St. Louis says, you can never take the player out of the coach. Those little routines and idiosyncrasies, they still exist. take yesterday's press conference, for example. He refused to sit down at the podium until he had a bottle of water in his hand. Got to stay hydrated this time of year. Jason Zucker is not superstitious, but he does have this routine in warm-up with George Babcock, the equipment man. Sometimes a hug, sometimes a handshake, all depends on the mood. Tage Thompson, game face now, but keeps things very light in the lead-up. Loves movie quotes, Will Ferrell movie quotes in particular. Maybe even a little kicking and screaming. That was the movie that Cole Caulfield and his brother would watch in the back of the family van nearly every hockey road trip going up. It was a frustrating game number one, but Caulfield and the Canadiens were not kicking and screaming about it. As Jake Evans said, Caulfield always answers. It's game number 2, Canadiens and Sabres, where you bleed just to know you're alive.
What's that? Hawaiian noises. Banging on them bundles like a chick. Oh, that ain't working. That's the way you do it. Get your money for nothing. Get your chicks for free. We got some things on microwave oven.
We now ask that you please rise, if you are able, and remove your hats for the presentation of the colors by the Cheektowaga Police Honor Guard. And now the singing about Canada and the Star-Spangled Banner, performed tonight by Cammie Clooney.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Sabres fans, it's time to get on your feet and get loud as we have Ryan Miller here to get tonight's game started. Let's go!
The Sabres hope to march to the beat of Ryan Miller's drum, the last netminder in Buffalo to win a playoff series. Alex Lyon looks to follow in his footsteps. 26 saves in the opener. He's given up 7 goals in 5 postseason games so far. Jakub Dobiš looks to rebound from a Game 1 loss. First time he's been nicked for more than 3 goals in this postseason. 3-0 following a loss against Tampa Bay. The introductions are done. What are you expecting in Game 2?
I think the game really and the series starts to come together in a Game 2. You know each other much better. The matchups are set. You know what your opponent feels like playing against, and this should be a high-spirited, high-intensity game.
Top line for the Canadiens out, led by Nick Suzuki, has goals in his last 2. And Josh Norris centering Josh Doan and Zach Benson, who was a pest in Game 1, and a pair of assists. That'll be fired around by Carrier. Got past Darlene. Caulfield sends it in behind the net. Suzuki stapled there by Samuelson along the end boards. So a lot of these scrums in the Tampa Bay series, Canadians won a lot of them. And they continue to battle here. Norris able to work it loose for Buffalo. Kept in at the line by Carrier. And now the captain, Rasmus Dahlin, who, since we last saw him, is now a Norris Trophy finalist. Handing it off, and away goes Tage Thompson on his longest goal-scoring throw of the year. Hasn't scored since Game 1 against Boston. Along the boards, and Owen Power has moved up. Alex Tuck off the boards for Thompson. Watch there is a little size mismatch, but Lane. There's Thompson stepping in to Lane Hudson and knocking him off stride, but Hudson's going to stay with him. And now Jake Evans gets it back. Back to Hudson, moving in and across. The shot scores! A minute 36 in. And it looks like Alex Newhook with the touch. And an icebreaker for Montreal.
Well, he couldn't ask for a better start on the road after losing Game 1. I said that Game 2 takes a little bit of a different temperature. You see Benson here early on, a couple of hits to try to get his crowd going. He gets Caulfield here from behind. Could have been an interference call there. And then at Lane Hudson, after battling hard to keep a puck alive in his own zone, now you get into the offensive zone and traffic in front. Just a tip in front there by Newhook. Remember the goal he scored, the game winner in Game 7 from behind the net with great hand-eye. Chris, there's another one. A tip in front finds its way through Alex Lyon for that all-important first goal of the game. Goes to the visitor.
Look out! Funny bounce there. Had Dovish looking the wrong way. A wild start to this one. And that opening goal at 1:36 for Newhook. The former Avalon Celtic has 2 goals in his last 3 games. Back in comes Buffalo. Rick wide for Zucker. Doesn't reach the intended target. Now swung away for Deneau. Over the line for Josh Anderson. In deep. Deneau on the forecheck, and Logan Stanley up with the puck. That one turned over and kept in momentarily by Montreal. Stanley will send it across to Connor Timmins. Sabres changing, and Kozak will send it in. Malenstein in on the forecheck, played away by Dobish. Sent ahead, and rink wide, a pass here for Boleno. Watch by Darlene, picked up here by Bill Burke. Back to the line and across, Arbor, jack high, fired that right on. Traffic in front provided by Kirby Dock. Kozak on it, and he swings it back to Darlene. A flip back to the Canadiens line, and that will bounce down towards Dobish. In quickly there was Malenstein crashing in. Fourth line had a physical start in Game 1. Boleno, 5 hits for him in his postseason debut. The goal announcement drawing a negative reaction, as you might expect. A kick, saved there. Nice stop by Dobish with Norris on the doorstep. It'll come back to the line, kept alive here. Nice move there. Benson working in, and he flips side across the front of the net. Back to the line, and that shot by Doan up high is turned aside. Now the Canadiens start back. On the move, here is Hudson. Back over the line. His sharp angle shot, shrugged away by Lyon. Picked up by Caulfield. Back to the point, Dobson across. Rick wide, And it bounced past Caulfield. Trying to turn away from the checking. And gets run there by Benson. Slavkovsky's on it. Byron trying to stay with him. And here's Caulfield. And kind of got tangled up there on that pass from Slavkovsky. Gets it back. Caulfield on it again. Backhand. And Lyon will stop that. Canadians on their toes to start.
Oh, just great intensity to start this game. You see the no-look pass across by Hudson, and then right on the doorstep underneath the blocker as Lyon was coming across. Something that the Montreal Canadiens didn't do well in the first game was get to that front of the net there. You could see Lyon able to see the shot but couldn't react to the nice tip, and there's two good hand-eye plays there by Newhook and a really important start here, Chris. You know you want to get your confidence back after losing game one. The one thing that Marty St. Louis said about his team, we always have that ability to adjust to what the game needs us to do. And you can see this game is a lot more back and forth. You get a pinch in too aggressively. It's an odd man rush going the other way. You've seen that a number of times already.
There's a face-off win by Deneau, and Matheson into the glove of Alex Lyon. Newhook second, Gooley and Hudson with the assists. Hudson now with 10 career playoff points.
Well, you know, that game one, all you had to do is take a page out of the Buffalo Sabres. Their last two goals were because Dobish wasn't able to see him. You got to get some traffic in front. You've got to try those cross-seam passes. The 4 goals against, 2 of them tap in cross-seam. The other 2 were screens.
Matheson scores! Mike Matheson on another face-off win. And Montreal's got a 2-goal lead.
Well, now you get into the head of a goaltender who's just had an amazing run as Lyon has been razor sharp. But here, there's the long, not a tip through, but look at the traffic that Matheson sees. There's 4 bodies in the way, and you can see a late reaction by Lyon. He's deep in his crease. He's looking up and watching, saying, how did that one get through? That's just a read off of a face-off win by Matheson. Starting to move to his right, gets that quick flick of the wrister that goes up and over off the bar and in, and just like that, this Buffalo crowd is shocked with the early 2-0 lead.
2 goals, 4 shots. Matheson has his first of the playoffs, his first point since game 1 against Tampa Bay, and a 2-0 Montreal lead. Jordan Greenway at the game winner in game 1, and now speeding in is Kozak. Newhook gets back defensively, and Jake Evans takes over behind the Montreal net. Back for Gooley, paired with Jack-Eye. Almost 5 minutes in. Quick strike for the Canadiens, looking to get a split to the first 2 here in Buffalo. Oh, a power back. Trying to shake the forechecking of Evans. Samuelson around. Gooley steps up. Comes up with that puck and then gets bounced off it as Tage Thompson to wind up. Here goes Thompson without a shot in the last 2 games for Buffalo. At the line, it's Krebs across. Byram with a shot. Traffic around the Montreal net. And first pass by Matheson denied, and now up ahead, and that hit somebody at the Sabres bench.
Well, this is a great read by Matheson. You know, Kevin Bieksa loves to talk about face-off plays. This is an adjustment by the player. Look at the 4 layers of bodies that he's shooting through. And as a defenseman up on the top, you know you have a set option on either side to move the puck and get your set play. I think Matheson just looked up. Chris saw the opportunity to throw it through a screen, and man, did he make the perfect shot to go up and in. His first goal in 16 is a huge one here to give the Canadiens a 2-goal lead, something they've only had once in the series for what, 5 minutes and 35 seconds
Tampa Bay
in round 1.
It's Matheson's first playoff goal in 4 years and 1 day. And his last scored as a Pittsburgh Penguin. Nick Suzuki out there battling against Norris. Slavkovsky after it, Caulfield on it. Caulfield along the boards, tried to come off the boards, but knocked off his stick. Benson with a flip, and that's out. Oh boy, that stayed in.
Looked like he watched that one off his stick, and he thought, oh, almost went a little too far.
Here's Hudson, who really wore the loss in game one, took it on him. A lot of the responsibility on himself. And so you expect him to be razor sharp here in game number 2 already as an assist. Back to Samuelson and across. Dahlin, a shot that drifts wide. In front of the net, and Dobson pulls it out of the blue paint. Up ahead off Slavkovsky, reach for it. He's outside. It's Suzuki, and a glove stop by Lyon. What a breakaway chance for the captain.
Just a great read by Suzuki to get behind the defense, but a really tough play to make at the net. Not much speed on this puck after it hits the boards, and it's getting closer and closer to Lyon. Just tried to poke it up and over the glove. Lyon able to read it and get the glove save to keep it a 2-goal game.
If your old mattress is a pain in the back, it's time to switch.
Get up to 20% off mattresses, sheets, duvets, and more right now at Sleep Country. But hurry, it won't be around for long.
For the love of sleep, Canada, just do it.
Twisted Tea celebrates all hockey fans. Guys, check it out. No matter who you cheer for. When it comes to our love for hockey and the refreshing taste of Twisted Tea, we're all on the same team. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Good times with a twist.
The Ford, it's a event? The Ford, it's a big deal event. Right now, lease this F-150 for $237 bi-weekly. That's like $119 a week.
Getting the McDonald's you love for just $5 plus tax every day? That's not just value. That's McValue. Get $5 McValue meals every day.
And the men who hold high places must be the ones who start to mold a new reality closer to the heart, closer to the heart.
Answer the call. Volunteer with Ontario Corps.
Barbecue Brawl on Food Network.
No, Mike Matheson's offensive touches aren't the same as it once was with the emergence of Lane Hudson. Martin St. Louis needs to make sure that he's still got gas in the tank to defend the best players later in the game, but his goal in making it 2-0, a reminder to us all that the offensive touch of Matheson was very much still there, Chris.
Marty St. Louis was very complimentary of Matheson's transition from a good offensive defenseman to a terrific defensive defenseman over the last year or so.
And the pride of taking that shutdown role and embracing it.
Alex Tuck gets away. Here's Tuck in, and he's jammed on the shot. And Jack Guy got back in a hurry after the puck skipped past Caden Gooley. Here's Gooley around to the near side for Jack Guy. Played under 10 minutes in the opening game, trying to force that out to center. Connor Timmins swings it back in. Jack Guy up the boards. Bolduc unable to get it out. Loose puck here in the broken stick for Jack Guy. Bolduc gives it away. A chance there for Thompson to center it, but he couldn't get it there. And Valeno going to charge after that, so Lyon has to come out to play it. Timmins ahead as he sidesteps a hit from Bolduc. Matheson across, and that glanced off the skate of Perrier and forces a trip, and Buffalo will get the first power play of game 2.
Check out 3-goal early payout brought to you by Bet365. When your team goes up 3, you get paid. It's that simple. Download the app today. Must be 18 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly.
Can't help but think going back to game 1 for Lane Hudson when he got a bouncing puck and wasn't able to control it, had to react. Same kind of thing. Just a rocket of a pass across from Matheson. Got into the feet of Carrier, and you know your instincts. You're just trying to grab and recover to get to the net. Instead, the stick between the legs. And, you know, there was a time for the power play. It was such a negative for the Buffalo Sabres, but they exploded for 2 of 3 in the first game of this series.
Well, the start of that first power play looked like same old, but they got it going.
Here's the challenge right here, isn't it, Chris? It's Their entries were pretty dismal early on, but then once they did get the zone, finally able to break the slump.
There's McLeod speeding in. It's wrapped around to the near side. Doan after it, but Montreal gets on it. And here is Matheson playing more than 5 minutes a game, shorthanded, and he'll send that right in on Lyon. Byram had a power play goal in game 1. Kicks it back. The second unit starting after they scored the 2 goals in the opening game for Buffalo. That off a skate in front for Doan. And the glove stop by Jakub Dobiš. And a little extra.
Well, this is what you typically see in a game 2, Chris, is a little bit more of this. We saw it with the Sabres and the Boston Bruins in game 2. Same thing with Montreal and Tampa. There's the pressure just inside the line that was giving Buffalo so much trouble, but will curl and drag by Doan. Just a great, confident read there by Dobiš. Still at the top of his crease, able to grab that one and hold on. And as we mentioned, that pressure at the line, you saw when the bounce back pass came that the penalty killers readjusted about 3 or 4 feet, so they're right at the line and able to attack once the entry is made.
And now the top unit comes on for Buffalo. Tage Thompson along with Tuck Zucker and the captain Darlene. Josh Norris at it. A shot over the net. And a look there for Zucker. Rasmus Dahlin wheeling to the near side. Rick wide, and that ends up onto the screen off the stick of Alex Tuch.
Boy, 2 great plays there. You know, the one play early on trying to go across seemed like they were able to in game number 1. Watch Matheson, though. He goes down to take it away, but the rebound was right there for Tucker, unable to do it. Tuck with a bit of a knuckleball, but man, that's right off the forehead as Dobiš slides across. Seems no harm for that shot, but a good job getting his body in a position to make that save.
50 seconds remaining in the power play. And off the draw, they scrum it, and Montreal has now won 7 of the first 10 and gets another clear. Dahlin back in his own zone. In the last 4 years, only Cale Makar has scored more goals among NHL defensemen. Dropped it off for Norris, can't break through, and they're turned back with Lane Hudson providing the clear.
You hear some of the groans from the crowd. This has just been commonplace again. The inability to make an easy entry has plagued this group.
In they come at the line. Thompson across. That bounces to Tuch. Right on, and Dobiš shuts that down.
Well, what a great early sign if you're the Canadiens. Dobiš, as you mentioned, Chris, first game of this playoffs that he allowed 4 goals. You know, a little frustrated with the goals. He didn't see 2 of them, and 2 of them were tap-ins. And here he's been challenged a couple of times by Tuch already, back-to-back. And just that confidence that we saw of him during the Tampa Bay, battling against Andrei Vasilevsky. Now a bounce-back game yet again, and he looks sharp here early on.
Carrier will return in 8 seconds. 3 shots for the Buffalo power play. On comes McLeod to take this draw. Jordan Greenway out there along with him. And Jack Quinn. Canadiens again control, and Deneau will flip that. It ends up in the benches. So they have 2 seconds remaining and a face-off back in the Montreal zone.
So what gives you confidence for Dobiš if you're a Canadian player? Okay, you lose. Here's the Tampa series. Coming back after a loss. Perfect record, great goals against, and he was just razor sharp. Yeah, the difference in this series, Montreal won that first game. So when they lost, even though they didn't win 2 games in a row, they won that series 4-3. Losing game 1 here, you got to try to find a way to win 2 in a row if you're the Canadiens to bounce back.
Deneau redlining in as Montreal has killed the penalty, starts to make changes, and Bo Byram up ahead. Over the line they come. Jack Quinn, who had some chances in the opener, had that blocked by Jack Guy, and away goes Slafkovsky. It bounces in, Caulfield after it, knocked away by Power. Slafkovsky in front, and that block by Quinn as Suzuki was set up in front. Rink wide for Caulfield, off his stick to Slafkovsky. looking for his first goal since Game 1 against Tampa. Here's Doan trying to cut in. Josh Doan in front. There's Benson already has dished out 4 hits in the game, and we're just past the 10-minute mark. Samuelson, Benson, centering it, and goal just wide of that near post. Suzuki around. Jack-Eye under pressure. Back to the captain. Holding on with Benson in the neighborhood.
How about the poise and calm of Lane Hudson there, not to panic in front. He had that puck right in the feet of Dobish, and he was falling, still able to control it and make a safety play to the outside. Well done.
Here's Newhook on the ice, gets rooted out to center ice. Buffalo regroups here, and Krebs flips it back in. Just one shot in Game 1 for this top Sabres line of Thompson, Tuck, and Krebs. Here's Matthias Samuelson putting it in front. That hit the leg of Hudson, rolled away from the front of the net. Buffalo gaining some momentum here. It's Dahlin trying to swing away from traffic. Handed off to Samuelson, working his way in. Off the inboards and knocked back to Samuelson. He'll feed it back to the line. Tuck covering the point. Peyton Krebs, Tage Thompson lost it. Canadiens are out. Maybe a 2-on-1. Here's Jake Evans in. Evans across, and Hudson unable to one-time that. And a penalty coming up as Hudson was buried along the boards. And that'll get a response as Evans hops in. 1 penalty pending. There might be more.
Well, how about an epic shift here by Lane Hudson? He seems to constantly find that little extra energy to find a way to jump up offensively. This is a 2-minute and 6-second shift, and so much of it in the defensive zone. There he is, jumping right back up offensively. Thompson with the great stick play, but then the penalty coming up, power play coming up to Montreal.
Make it through Chapter 5. And 6. Make more of your everyday banking with Scene Plus points on every debit transaction. Scotiabank, you're richer than you think.
Twisted Tea celebrates all hockey fans. Guys, check it out. No matter who you cheer for. When it comes to our love for hockey and the refreshing taste of Twisted Tea, we're all on the same team. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Good times with a twist.
And the men who hold high places must be the ones who start to mold a new reality closer to the heart, closer to the heart.
Answer the call. Volunteer with Ontario Corps.
Instacart lets you choose your bananas.
Get them just how you like.
Instacart lets you choose your bananas.
From green to extra ripe.
Use the app to control your bananas.
What a time to be alive.
I can't go believe what a time to be alive.
Sweet, get it.
I'm good. No, we got it.
Alex Newhook, a Game 7 hero. He and his younger sister, Abby, in the middle of their own playoff journeys simultaneously. Abby and the Boston Fleet in the middle of their series against the Ottawa Charge. Game 3 happening right now. The two watch each other's games when they have off nights, cheering each other on from afar. Abby said they'll give each other feedback when talking hockey. Alex will even ask her, what did you see on this play? How do you think I should have handled a certain situation? Their sibling bond also translates to how they see the game as well, Chris.
He handled his first shift perfectly tonight. And now Montreal goes to its first power play of Game 2, 1 for 2 in the opener.
And you lose a good penalty killer in the box as well, with the Sabres captain taking the penalty. Really interesting to see. Can you win the draw, get you set up quickly, and get that first shot mentality?
Well, they continue to win face-offs. Hudson at the point as it's swung to Slavkovsky and back to Davidov. Lane Hudson with the puck. Sizes it up. Now Suzuki. Back to Demidov. It's Suzuki downhill. Slavkovsky side of the net. Connor Timmins watching him. It's Tuck out there, the penalty killing role. Good keep by Suzuki, and now Tuck again. He doesn't get it out. It's a chance. Caulfield. Glove stopped by Lyon.
You know, really aggressive penalty killing by Connor Timmins. Almost cost him twice. He pressured along the boards, and then coming back here, kind of lost his balance. That allowed that puck to be open, but he does a nice job of just that dive at the last second. For Cole Caulfield, he knows that he's not going to have enough time to get totally rotated his body around, so tried the quick wrister, and Lyon able to be in good position to make the glove save.
Dyson Kozak on this face-off for Buffalo, and from the draw, Greenway will fire it down into the Montreal zone. Sabres had surrendered only 2 first-period goals in these playoffs. They've given up 2 in the first 4.5 of this game as Suzuki looks for another goal. Demidov, Hudson, and now Caulfield. 1 goal for Caulfield in these playoffs on the power play. Suzuki took a long look and fired it across. That hit a Buffalo stick, and it's Hudson. Demidov, Slavkovsky with those 3 power play goals in game 1. Hudson the blast, and that's flagged down by Lyon.
Now, once they had the puck down low to Suzuki, you could see how tight the box was for the Buffalo Sabres. There was nothing there, so you try a little rotation, slide it back. But again, we've seen this with the Canadiens, just on the power play especially, nobody in front. You know, an opportunity for a stick to get to it for Suzuki, but that's an easy save there for Lyon. Good thing is you get a face-off here and a fresh group to try to win a draw and let the second unit get an opportunity.
Lions overtime goal is over 90 miles an hour. I think he said that was only his 2nd of the year. He had one there, and there's a blast by Bolduc right on. 90.7, that last shot by Hudson. And out comes Benson. Zach Benson working in. He'll fire that wide. It comes around, and Kirby Dach hits Newhook with speed. 20 seconds remaining in the power play. Newhook almost got all the way, but Timmins saved the day with a stick check at the last second. Now Texier working his way in. He'll play it back. It comes to Noah Dobson. Alex Texier. Dobson's going to fire that right on. A rebound. Knocked back to Dobson. Penalty done. Dahlin back on the ice. Texier in front. That just missed with Bolduc at the back post. Canadian pressure continues. Dobson again. Rink wide it goes. Now to Matheson. Jumps his stick. Montreal had 4 shots on the power play and some pressure after it was done.
Boy, some great individual efforts by Texier to keep the puck alive, protected it well, and almost jammed one from the side to the front of the net.
Back in it goes for Deneau. In behind the net, it's Anderson. Josh Anderson trying to spin away from the checking of power. Here's Anderson looking to center. No shots in his last 2. That shot missed the target. And Tuck got crunched by Anderson, gives it up. Anderson in front, and he rolled it wide. Creating a chance off that forecheck hit on Tuck. Good work by Veleno. It'll come back to Matheson, looking for another, and that ramps off Tuck stick. Canadians get back on it. Veleno working the corner. Getting some help there. Power looking to dig it out for Buffalo.
Exactly the kind of shift you want from this line. Anderson, a big hit, keep some pressure on, get in the offensive zone.
They turn it over again. Deneau in front. No shot as Carrier gets knocked down. Buffalo finally gets out, but end of a shift, they had nothing left.
You know, you guys don't play at a Buffalo power play that kept guys off. Then you have a Montreal one. That's a great shift by the Deneau line, again, to get the momentum continuing your way, even though the power play wasn't able to.
Slavkovsky one-hands it in. Stanley around, looking for Zucker. That pass just out of the reach of Dahlin at center and sent back in by Hudson. Winding it up is McLeod, who looked like the fastest guy on the ice in game 1. Rink wide it goes, and Suzuki back in. Ducks past the check. Puts it in the slot, and Slafkovsky couldn't get a good shot away. Got it back in front. Caulfield stick tied up. Suzuki to the line. Here's Gooley. That changed direction. Off Caulfield wide. Suzuki again. His pass back. Broke it up. And Thompson able to get a stick on that. But here comes Buffalo. Over the line. Jack Quinn. And he sent that high. Another good look for Quinn. 3.5 to go in a fast-paced opening period here in Game 2. Gooley up, and Demidov swings past Benson. Trying to chase it down, but Sabres get back on it, and Samuelson a hit, and away goes Doan. Over the line, and it is offside. So the Canadiens with the lead and the edge in play, but Jack Quinn had a chance to get Buffalo in it.
The Ford, it's a event? The Ford It's a Big Deal event. Right now, lease this F-150 for $237 bi-weekly. That's like $119 a week.
Want a twist on breakfast? Try the new DQ Breakfast Collection, like new Cinnamon Toast Crunch Dip Cone, new Fruity Pebble Shake, and the new Choco Frosted Donut Blizzard Treat. The new Breakfast Collection, here for any time of day, but not for long.
Oh, please welcome friend of the pod, Ty. Please tell me you did not start a podcast? People gotta hear my takes. No, people gotta go with the score.
Bet mode activated.
Oh, D-pair's tired. Shots are really piling up.
My gut says overtime, folks. What? No. New York's got this. Lock it in.
Bet placed.
Yeah! We called it! Oh, let's check in with the chat. Mom! You can't say that.
And the men who hold high places must be the ones who start to mold a new reality closer to the heart, closer to the heart.
Answer the call. Volunteer with Ontario Corps.
The wait is over. Winnipeg and Edmonton hit the court to open the new Canadian Elite Basketball League season starting Saturday at 3:30 Eastern on CBC and CBC Gem. There's Rob Gronkowski sporting Rob Ray's old number 32. Was a hooper himself back in the day as he attended nearby Williamsville North High School. He once dunked and smashed the rim with his weight. Not a surprise, of course. Big-time star with the New England Patriots, played hockey growing up through grade 9, and loves the Buffalo Sabres. Plenty of star power in KeyBank Center tonight, Chris.
I was going to say they would have had him bang the drum, but he would have broke that too.
Yeah.
Here's Byram off the stick, wide of the net. And flip out to center. Power hounded by Newhook. Gives it up, and it's flipped in by Evans. Under 3 minutes remaining here in the opening period. The shot's 10-7 in favor of Montreal. Here's Jordan Greenway coming off with Lindy. Ruff, it was his best game of the playoffs, and another hot shot there. Jacky takes over. That pass out of the reach. That Newhook kept in at the line by Byram. In behind the net, Greenway working, and there's a guy who can match him in size over Jacky, and those two go shoulder to shoulder. Jacky and Greenway now gonna talk it over a little bit. They're gonna get acquainted here.
Check out 3-goal early payout brought to you by Bet365. When your team goes up 3, you get paid. It's that simple. Download the app today. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly.
Chris, in game 1, it was shots off the goal post and crossbar. There was all kinds for both. That's 2 now off the mask of Dobish. He didn't seem worse for wear. A little bit of chirping as this series goes along.
There's a Sabres face-off win. They haven't been too frequent in this period, but it got past Samuelson. Pass on the right wing, doesn't reach the target. Tuck, and Montreal sends it back in. First man to it is Texier. He'll play back and carry a shot. Knocked down, but Deneau in front of the net, and Anderson deflects that wide. Texier from the corner battling. It comes loose, and Krebs sends it away. Carrier gets back ahead of Tuck. Deneau gets past Thompson, and 4 Canadians through center. Over the line, Anderson, but kind of fumbled the pass and put the play offside.
You know, the little tweaks that Marty St. Louis has made, though, you see Texier with Deneau and Anderson. You saw Texier do so effectively with Bolduc and Doc. And, you know, you look for that offense throughout your lineup. And the one thing Marty has done in, the 9th game of his playoff year this year is make those little tweaks along the way. And I think for the most part, you're sitting where you are right now. You're in a good 2-0 lead on the road in game 2. And I think he's got to like the balance that his lines have put together here as he's tweaked them over the last 3 games.
This is a series where both coaches feel they can put out any line. Lindy Ruff's talked about that. It clearly wasn't the same in the Tampa Bay series.
There's no match game in this one, is there? It's very different than the John Cooper and Marty St. Louis battle.
Matheson with a little outlet pass for Veleno. Played to the Buffalo line, and McLeod back in his own zone. Timmins around for Zucker. And away goes McLeod onto the left side. Stanley stepped into that. It's blocked by Carrier. Kept in by Timmins. And that goes off Doc and out.
Oh, those blocks, they hurt. You know, it's amazing. You get into this time of year, and the defensemen especially, but everybody knows their responsibility. That just shift after shift, you get drilled with these hard shots. And that's one right off the knee afterwards by Doc, but it was a great block by Carrier coming down that side. That was a hard shot. The block was 95.7, and you know, they just keep accumulating as each and every game goes along, and you need ice bags all over your body by the end of it.
Mike Matheson, by the way, leads the Stanley Cup playoffs in block shots, and Carrier is 3rd, so
might have caught up to him with blocks.
Yes. Dave Theodore sandwiched in between. Here's Norris, good stick check there by Hudson, and another good stick by Hudson defensively, sending away Slavkovsky over the line with Suzuki in the final minute of this first period. Slavkovsky checked. Caulfield trying to get it back and does. Slavkovsky with the puck up at the line. Benson continues to hound him, but he fights off the check. Bouncing puck, knocked out again. Hudson with a great stick because Benson was loose, and now Benson hands it off. Don't try to work in, and he can't get by Noah Dobson. Cole Caulfield trying to swing that out and bounces that down. We've got another penalty coming up against Buffalo.
And retaliate here. It's a late call that the official in the neutral zone made the call at the end.
Penalty interference.
And it's Doan with the takedown. The puck was already away, and that's why it was a little bit of a delayed reaction, as it was Johnny Bear, and puck nowhere near Dobson. He gets taken down in an awkward way. You could tell that hurt Dobson a little bit. And that's a penalty, Chris. You know, Lindy Ruff, you're down by 2. 10 seconds left. You can't take it in the offensive zone.
Wrong end of the ice, wrong time of the period.
Well, you play the face-off game again. The Canadiens 71% on the draws here, and with just 10 seconds left, can you win a draw, get an early chance, and not have to take this one to the next period?
Suzuki does win the draw. It'll come back to Hudson. Demidov across Caulfield. Lucy front. Lyon with a stop. Quick whistle. 2.2 remaining in the period. And
boy, Suzuki stopped there too. Oh, because the mask. Is that why the whistle went to? The puck was loose. It was a hard shot there by Caulfield, and you know for Caulfield, he's looking for anything to come in. But you talk about execution, 9.9 seconds, that took 7.7. Yeah, I just don't understand why the whistle was blown there.
Johnny Bear may have been blocked behind the Might have thought that Lyon had covered.
I don't think Suzuki maybe thought there was enough time left. He kind of stopped digging for that puck as well.
Boy, that shot by Caulfield was labeled. They get another chance off the draw. That was a theme in the period as it comes to a close. A minute 51 of power play time to start the second.
It's amazing how much you can get done in such a short period. Great job by Caulfield chipping it in and win it to an area, chip it back, and you get one shot with 2.2 seconds left. A big save there by Lyon.
A huge opening period for Montreal in Game 2. They out-cheat Buffalo 11-8. They score at 136 and 427. Newhook and Matheson, the goal scorers. 2-0 after one period of play. Ron with Kevin, Kelly, and Luke coming up in our first intermission.
How you like your new Trek stock?
Oh, it's beautiful. I wish I'd done it sooner.
Thought about Treks, but I've never minded doing a little maintenance. It's rewarding.
Well, whatever floats your boat.
Trex, performance engineered for your life outdoors.
If your old mattress is a pain in the back, it's time to switch.
Get up to 20% off mattresses, sheets, duvets, and more right now at Sleep Country. But hurry, it won't be around for long.
For the love of sleep, Canada, just do it.
If Connor McDavid and Connor Bedard had childhood ambitions to become architects, CIBC would work with them every step of the way. Or if they wanted to be mechanics, we'd have a personalized plan. Just like we'll have a plan for your ambitions too. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Get no markups at select retailers on Instacart. Fees and exclusions.
The Ford, it's a event? Ah, the Ford, it's a big deal event. Right now, lease this F-150 for $237 bi-weekly. That's like $119 a week.
It's the eternal feeling, the drive for something greater, an unspoken desire of untamable wilderness, where the skies dance and the people smile. It is a place that will change you. It is the Northwest Territories.
Please welcome friend of the pod, Ty. Please tell me you did not start a podcast. People got to hear my takes. No, people got to go with the score.
Bet mode activated. Oh, D-pair's tired. Shots are really piling up.
My gut says overtime, folks. What? No. New York's got this. Lock it in.
Bet placed.
Yeah! We called it! Oh, let's check in with the chat. Mom! You can't say that.
And the men who hold high places must be the ones who start to mold a new reality closer to the heart, closer to the heart.
Answer the call. Volunteer with Ontario Corps.
With Rogers Xfinity Internet, my whole house is ready for baseball. So this is where I buy all my memorabilia. Boom! Just got Clement's childhood glove. Mom. She's really come through for me. And this is where I stream everything.
Sweet setup.
It's all for you guys.
Michael, what is this?
Oh, yeah. That's where I keep my modem.
Get Major League Internet with Rogers Xfinity.
Yeah, Wi-Fi just pouring out of that thing.
Welcome back to Stanley Cup Playoffs on Sportsnet, brought to you by Rogers. Friday night, Buffalo, Montreal with a big period. Kevin Bieksa, Kelly Rudy, and Luke Gazdickson.
Alex Newhook, St. John's, Newfoundland, gets on the board for the Habs for their first goal, but it's Lane Hutson that I want to talk about and look at. But in the pregame show, we talked about he took responsibility for the first game loss, which probably was a little too hard on himself. But what do you always hear coaches say, especially in the D zone, getting pucks out? Take a hit to make a play. There he gets absolutely rocked by Tage Thompson. Alex Newhook does a great job pressing up ice, and who is going to follow this play up? 48 himself, Mr. Lane Hutson, commands a ton of respect with that shot fake. Everybody has to come out to see him. Makes a great play over, and before you know it, Newhook taps that right in the back of the net. It's a great clip to show guys taking a little bit of physicality to get that puck up ice. Now listen, the first thing I saw when we were watching this period is the face-off discrepancy is extremely clear. That's what I see. Coming into this, Montreal was second in the NHL, 56%. Buffalo, the worst out of every team, 43%. That's how you start play. That's how you drive possession, is winning draws. And that leads them into the second goal, Kev.
Yeah, you have to think eventually, especially in your D zone, that's going to hurt you. With all the offensive plays that Montreal likes to run, and even with 5 seconds left, they still got a chance there on that draw. And CC was on this as well. It starts with a face-off, and face-offs, stick hands matter. Remember, so Montreal's going to set up this play. This is their fourth line. You got a right-hander, Anderson, so him and Texier are going to switch right here. Anderson's going to come around the pile, and he's going to go back door, be the net front presence. Texier is going to sprint to this dot, and when this puck goes back to the point, the options are pass lefty to lefty one-timer, or Matheson can just shoot this floater on net, again with Anderson going to the net, centerman also looking for a tip. So they run this play, and everything's covered perfectly by Buffalo. Lyon makes the save. So what do they do 3 seconds later? Switch? No, they don't switch it up. They run the exact same play, same hands, same guys. Buffalo, once again, covers it beautifully, and that floater, that goes in from the point. I look at the goalie there, Kel. I know he's looking at the bench. Yeah. I look at the goalie. That's 100% on you.
100%, and I noticed that too. He looked right at the bench. He had given up 2 in 4.5 minutes, and the second one was a terrible goal. But I'm thinking to myself, but Lyon, well, first of all, he got really good as the period went on. He really battled, so that's a real compliment.
I thought he looked at the bench to say, come on, lady, they just ran that play. How come we can't defend it?
I don't. No? Most goalies don't think that way. They think about, I've given up 2 in 4.5 minutes.
Hook.
Yeah,
and
right?
He's a backup goalie, so does he feel like his time is limited?
Yeah, like he did arguably have a better year than Luukkonen maybe this year. He played 1 more game during the regular season. He's been on a great run. That's his history, right? He's 33 years old. He goes on short runs, and that's fabulous. But at some point, it doesn't seem now, but they have to get Luukkonen in there at some point. He's going to be their franchise, right? He's 27 years old. It hasn't gone well. He's played 2 playoff games, and it's been pretty ugly for him. But at some point, I think if Buffalo is really going to go for a run, Luukkonen's got to get on a roll.
What about Billy Smith?
Oh, yes, he is into it, isn't he? All 4 of us noticed this. Even Brendan did back there about how he is really into it. Watch number 9. Norris, he's going to get the stick into the glove of Dobish. He hates it, so he's going to give him a little jab there. This one, the next one, it was Benson. He's going to come through the crease. This, he's got to be a little bit careful. That's really close to interference, and there's going to be one more play. He's expecting some contact from McLeod, so he's going to give him a little shy to stay out of this crease area. I loved it.
You mentioned Brendan Dillon. He'll join us tomorrow night on the broadcast. Not a chance Buffalo's going to Dobish if Brendan Dillon's on the ice, right?
Right.
DA, down to you in Buffalo.
All right, Ron, we heard Kyle talk about it's a big weekend for the Newhook family. Abby right now in the Boston Fleet, they are trailing Ottawa in their PWHL playoff game. We'll keep you posted on that. Meanwhile, Alex, pregame, he was pumping up his teammates. You get the honors to do that after he, of course, won the series with that incredible goal in Game 7. I asked him, do you have some baseball in your background, Elliot? He said, no, that was more like my golf swing, but it did lead him to that victory in Game 7. He said so many texts, he's still going through the celebratory text that he was sent after that. And again, his parents, Paul and Sean, they expect to be in attendance for Games 3 and 4 in Montreal. So busy weekend for the Newhook family.
You've hosted his golf tournament, right?
It's a great tournament. St. John's, Newfoundland. Lots of Bruins fans there and lots of Leaf fans, but many, many Canadiens fans. What about the atmosphere here?
So the one thing about Buffalo that hurts the atmosphere here is the team's power play.
Only Philly, among all the teams still alive, have a worse percentage than Buffalo, now 3 for 28. They were struggling coming into the playoffs, and they're struggling here, and it's the only time in this building the atmosphere isn't great. And you notice it when you're here, Dave. When they're on the power play and the first play doesn't work, they turn on it fast. These fans, they are really down on the Buffalo power play.
And the other thing is, there's a couple of thousand Canadiens fans who've made their way here to Buffalo, so that's also keeping it a little bit quieter. Certainly some celebrations when the Habs scored the first goal of the game.
Terrific on Newhook there, you men. 15-6 on the draws. Montreal, their 2-0 goal is the fourth time they've scored within 15 seconds of a faceoff in the playoffs. And you have to admit, it's these little tete-a-tetes help you win the battle head-to-head on Hockey Night in Canada.
This intermission is brought to you by Rogers. The dream goes on. This is our game.
If your old mattress is a pain in the back, it's time to switch.
Get up to 20% off mattresses, sheets, duvets, and more right now at Sleep Country. But hurry, it won't be around for long.
For the love of sleep, Canada, just do it.
To mold a new reality, closer to the heart, closer to the heart.
Answer the call. Volunteer with Ontario Corps.
Twisted Tea celebrates all hockey fans. Guys, check it out. No matter who you cheer for. When it comes to our love for hockey and the refreshing taste of Twisted Tea, we're all on the same team. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Good times with a twist.
If Connor McDavid and Connor Bedard had childhood ambitions to become architects, CIBC would work with them every step of the way. Or if they wanted to be mechanics, we'd have a personalized plan. Just like we'll have a plan for your ambitions too. CIBC. Ambitions made real.
The Ford, it's a event? Ah, the Ford, it's a big deal event. Right now, lease this F-150 for $237 bi-weekly. That's like $119 a week.
Oh, please welcome friend of the pod, Ty. Please tell me you did not start a podcast? People got to hear my takes. No, people got to go with the score.
Bet mode activated. Oh, D-pair's tired. Shots are really piling up.
My gut says overtime, folks. What? No. New York's got this. Lock it in.
Bet placed.
Yeah! We called it! Oh, let's check in with the chat. Mom! You can't say that.
With Rogers Xfinity Internet, I can game like a pro. See that home run, Schneitz? Yeah, I'm thinking of giving up acting, actually, and doing more sports type stuff.
Not gonna happen, kid.
How do you know?
I know.
Thought this was a safe space.
Cars are cool. Rental cars are not cool. Cars can come in all shapes and sizes. Rental cars are mid-sized or similar. Cars are all about the details. Rental cars are also about the details. It's cool when you can pick the exact car you want and pick it up exactly where you want, like here, or even way out here, but never here. No one wants to be here. You want to be here. Turo. Rent a car, not a rental car.
Hey, thanks for streaming hockey on Sportsnet Plus. Anna, let's talk game night routines for the playoffs. We're locked in. Maybe some snacks standing by?
Yeah, I need my nachos before puck drop, but what routines do you follow?
The important ones, of course. You can't forget about your oral health. That's where the science of Colgate Total comes in. Colgate Total Active Prevention helps fight the root cause of common oral health problems before they start. Just a winning oral health routine with Colgate Total.
Love that because I'm not giving up my playoff snacks.
We've got more hockey coming up right here on Sportsnet Plus.
All new Rock the Block on HGTV. The Stanley Cup Playoffs on Sportsnet. Brought to you by Rogers. And presented by Instacart.
Back with the big board, presented by Bet365, official partner of the NHL. Randy Hahn, born in Edmonton, lived in Whitehorse. Broadcaster in San Jose will call the game on TNT tonight in Anaheim. Jody Shelley, born in Thompson, raised primarily in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. Chris Mason from Red Deer, Alberta. Shout out to Paul and Bonnie. His mom and dad are dear friends. So that'll be the crew for the game this evening in SoCal. The big board presented by Bet365, official partner of the NHL. Download the app today. Kev, you love this. Each guy.
3D, all tape in their sticks, all white tape, toe to heel. Those are 3 skill guys right there.
Brendan said he switched to white when he moved to these.
Yeah, he's a skill guy.
He's a skill guy now.
Chris, Craig, and
That's
Kyle
right.
coming right up.
Enjoy the game at the game with free tickets from Scotia Perks. Scotiabank, you're richer than you think.
If your old mattress is a pain in the back, it's time to switch.
Get up to 20% off mattresses, sheets, duvets, and more right now at Sleep Country. But hurry, it won't be around for long.
For the love of sleep, Canada, just do it.
The Ford, it's a event? Ah, the Ford, it's a big deal event. Right now, lease this F-150 for $237 bi-weekly. That's like $119 a week.
So with Rogers Xfinity, you can pull up games, stats, and scores. Blue Jays. Springer Dinger.
May I? Davis Schneider's mustache.
It's beautiful. The technology is amazing.
And it's a close one, folks.
This game is stress.
Nah, the Blue Jays got this. Watch.
Bet mode activated.
Hey, oh, tied on the 9th. Everybody breathe.
I feel a run coming.
That tracks. Struggling reliever, advantage, offense.
Blue Jays money line. Lock it in.
Bet placed.
I can't take this anymore.
Swing and a drive. And that ball is out of here!
Oh,
Oh, yeah. You don't have hands. Not you.
And the men who hold high places must be the ones who start to mold a new reality closer to the heart, closer to the heart.
Answer the call. Volunteer with Ontario Corps.
I like thin ham.
Thin?
Big sliced, honey sweet, when all he wants is a different meat. Thin enough you can see right through me. I wanna make the sandwich of your dreams.
We've got incredible design teams working with celebrities. This is Vegas, baby. Anything can happen.
All new Rock the Block on HGTV.
Watch his nightly newscast for the top stories of the day, the National, everywhere you get CBC News. And every day of the spring brings anniversaries and memories of playoffs past. What's special about May the 8th, Chris Cuthbert?
Well, there's a lot that happened on this date. 1975, the Sabres beat the Canadiens in Game 6 to go to their first ever Stanley Cup final. 1993, Kirk Muller caps a sweep with a third overtime win by Montreal. And in 98, Jeff Sanderson gets that back as the Sabres sweep the Canadiens. Again, a lot happened on May 8th.
So you've got this, the fourth game between these two on this day. You saw 2 Buffalo wins, 1 Montreal win. Well, it's a heck of a start, and there's Rob trying to get the Buffalo crowd. I think Rob Ray would be pretty happy to see the sweater that he's wearing.
There may be some injuries in the stands before that's over.
I remember Rob Ray and I going to a Monday nighter that the Bills were playing, and you know the love of football in this city, but man, the hockey has taken over, hasn't they, in this last little while.
What a great sports town it is.
We're down there with Bruce Smith, and I couldn't believe how small the can looked in his hand when he was holding it. Just a beast of a man.
Canadians start this second period on the power play as Lane Hudson sends it across Davidoff. In the slot, Slafkovsky back for Davidoff, and it didn't get there in time. Slafkovsky was on a pretty good spot. Davidoff was knocked down in front, and he's been shaken up. He gets to the bench. Out comes Bolduc.
Samuelsson has no glove, and his left hand looks to be hurting a little bit. He's not even touching his stick with it, trying to protect it.
Here's Hudson across. Gets it back again. Bolduc, Suzuki. And a one-timer Hudson is blocked by Samuelsson. Hudson again. Juraj Slafkovsky. Got it to Suzuki. Back to Hudson. Still 40 seconds of power play time. Extended pressure here in the Buffalo zone. Trying to get it to the net. Maybe Bolduc. Suzuki holds on. Caulfield trying to get available on the lip of the crease. Suzuki again. Fires that. Blocked. Knocked down in front by Timmins. Suzuki back to the line. Lane Hudson. Slafkovsky. Dropped off. And a lunging play. Wallenstein without the glove. Able to get to the bench, but back in comes Montreal. Slafkovsky puts it back door, and Caulfield didn't get a stick on that, and it ricochets back out.
What a missed opportunity was.
Oh! Dobush a little casual as that one was sliding.
It was Mallenstein, not Samuelsson, pardon me, but Mallenstein at the end, he kind of gets caught up in this hit, driving to the area there. Slafkovsky thinks he's going to get a chance, and man, did he ever get hammered. Right on the train tracks, got him right in the chest as Demidov, trying to make the play, turned to stop on it so Slafkovsky could get it. And that look there, no penalty call, but unable to take advantage of no glove on Mallenstein, and you hope that Demidov is able to shake that off. We've seen Greenway in the way that he can hit.
Well, the faceoff is in the Montreal zone. It comes back inside Buffalo territory. Sabres back at full strength. Needed a kill to start the period. They get that. Owen Powers in deep. Hooked by Tuck towards Thompson. He gets hooked down. Penalty coming up. Dahlin in. Lions gone to the bench. Extra attacker comes on. It's Josh Norris. Norris with the puck. Power gets it back. Here's Owen Power. Rink wide. Dahlin from the corner. Canadiens collapse in front of the net. As it's played up top for Krebs. Shooting. Stopped. Puck touched. And now the hooking call to be assessed against Carrier.
Carrier just gets, again, the stick in, much like the penalty in the first. You know, you got a big body in Thompson. He can usually handle this. As soon as he feels that into his hands, he knows he's got him in a vulnerable spot, a little bit of a can opener. Down he goes, and you're always going to get that call in that instance. But again, a power play, Chris, where the top line had been on. You had mentioned before the second unit got the opportunity in the first. Well, they're going to get the opportunity here again in the second to try to create something.
So the second power play. By the way, Demidov's gone to the Montreal room. Mallenstein's gone to the Buffalo room after that last Canadiens power play. Cloud on the draw, but that's won by the 71 wearing blue, blanc, et rouge.
I wondered why he didn't grab his stick, so maybe he got a skate on it. That didn't look like it was bleeding, but we'll hope that both players will be back in this one.
Kicked back by Byram. It's McLeod into the zone. Here's Doan trying to cut into the net, and it slides into the near corner. McLeod chase back. It was kept into the line. That's a close play. Looked like it's good onside. McLeod. Byram. Back to McLeod. Doan in the slot. Benson on the near side. And Dahlin breaks his stick. Maybe a chance here on a break. Clear cut. Evans trying to table bouncing puck for Newhook. And Lyon the stop. And he'll glove it away. Canadiens make it caught here. They got to hustle back as Benson moves in. Montreal does get back defensively after a change. Paige Thompson on with a move on Deneau. Turns it back. Here's Thompson. Handing it off for Tuck. Back to Thompson. Dahlin across. A one-timer. Rebound came across. Jumped the stick of Thompson. Dahlin shot blocked. And Dobich will absorb that. And Norris a little frustrated that he didn't get his best shot away.
Boy, just the timing of everything. Hey, you had earlier a guy with no glove. Now you get an opportunity for a shot. The stick breaks, so this flip pass just takes a little bit of a bad bounce for Evans, slows him down a bit so that he's not in all alone. Great job of Doan coming back into positioning. And then Dobich, one thing he's done really well, especially in that Tampa series, is control his rebounds. And you know you got a tired penalty kill unit there. You got a hard shot. And the Sabres looking for a rebound. He's able to hold on and allow all four guys to change. That's a big play.
Good news for the Canadiens. Demidov's return to the Montreal bench. Deneau battles. Canadiens win another face-off. Deneau has to go to the bench to get a new stick. He's 6-1 in the draws. Montreal continues to dominate in that category. Here's the former Senator Josh Norris in. They're turned back once again. 15 seconds left in the power play.
There's what Elliott was talking about too, the uneasiness of the crowd. Another entry fails.
Pass too far for Tuck, taken away by Hudson. Dobson gets run by Zucker, but out comes Evans. Here's Jake Evans in front, scores! What a pass from Evans to Newhook, who doubles down, and Montreal has a 3-0 lead.
Oh man, every player will tell you, you take so much pride in your ability to take a hit to make a play. Your teammates gravitate to you, and that is Noah Dobson. He's behind the net here. Hudson with the little outlet, and he absolutely gets run, but he makes the play. The hard rim opens up this odd man rush, and all the delay there is a delay for a second so that Newhook. Evans knows he's not going to beat his man, but you can see Newhook beats his. Dahlin not able to get the stick at Newhook. Great timing by the two, but it all started taking that hit by Noah Dobson. He gets a little tap from his teammates there. Know how important that play was to make the goal possible.
So Newhook with the first goal of the opening period, and now the first goal of the second. Expands Montreal's lead to 3-0. Here's Kozak trying to cut in. And denied by Polino. 4:47. Time of the goal. Evans and Dobson the assists. Byram. Power. That shot deflected by Kozak. Now Krebs on it. Back to Byram. 4 goals in the playoffs for Byram. That's sent wide of the net. Bolduc after it. Got there ahead of Byram and flips it to center. Power back and play halted here. We've got penalties, and is that Jack-Eye and Benson?
I think he was going after Benson, took a little slash, and then was chasing after him. And again, it was behind the play. Jean-Hubert, the official, he was watching it all. And as the play was going back to the other end, you hear the arguments.
Montreal, minor penalty, slashing.
I didn't see it live, so hard to judge it until we see. You know what Jack-Eye looks at. Oh, it wasn't even on Benson. He was chasing Benson earlier, so he's going after, just trying to get in the face. No, I don't see an arm up there.
Not yet.
Not yet. It's the last one. You know what? He let him get away with 5 earlier, and I think that's for Jean-Hubert going, hey, that's in the play. That one is away from the play when the guy's making a chance. You just can't afford to take that penalty, and that will not make Marty St. Louis that happy at all. 3-0 lead, and you give the Sabres a chance here.
So Buffalo goes right back to the power play, and right away the Canadiens get a clear. 4 shots on 2 power play opportunities so far on the night. Sabres looking to get on the board. Back to Norris. Norris lost it, and Matheson's going to send them back again. And the fans get on this power play. It's good analysis by Elliott. Oh, yes. Paige Thompson. Alex Tuck. Jason Zucker back to Tuck. Can they get Thompson unlocked here? Tuck's got it, shoots it, and That goes high. Did that
head
go
again?
Mask again?
It did.
Wow, that's 3. Tuck again. Thompson low. Dahlin, a one-timer. Rebound came in front, knocked away. Norris. Rasmus Dahlin. Evans on the kill. That shot fired off Dovish. Norris swings it back to Dahlin. A reverse hit on Carrier. Puck loose. Played around, and Thompson used that big wingspan to hold the zone. Come downhill. Can't get the shot off against Evans. And again, Montreal clears.
Oh, what a big clear that is, too. Carrier of 2 minutes and 19 seconds. The rest, the entire minute and a half. You had some tired penalty killers. Now all 4 able to get a clear.
Past 7 minutes of the second period. 20 seconds remaining in the power play for Buffalo. McLeod plays it around. Blowing a tire there was Anderson. Couldn't catch up with it. And that played past Quinn. And the frustration level rises here at Quebec. Byram, one last attack. As the penalty's done, Jack-Eye back on the ice. And the Sabres 0 for 3. Dobson pins Byram. And from the scrum, it goes to Benson. Back towards Byram, didn't see it coming. And Anderson able to bounce that down the ice, no icing. Simmons back, and Jack-Eye chased him down. Puts it across the front of the net. Suzuki sweeps it back around. Caulfield off the bench. Off the stick of Caulfield, who got nailed there by Stanley. And Stanley back to Slavkovsky. Stumbles a little, but got it to Carrier. Now up ahead, and Carrier disrupt that pass and puts the play offside. So Montreal penalty killers shining, and the masked saves of Jakub Dobiš with frequency tonight.
Twisted Tea celebrates all hockey fans.
Guys, check it out.
No matter who you cheer for. When it comes to our love for hockey and the refreshing taste of Twisted Tea, we're all on the same team. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Good times with a twist.
If Connor McDavid and Connor Bedard had childhood ambitions to become architects, CIBC would work with them every step of the way. Or if they wanted to be mechanics, we'd have a personalized plan. Just like we'll have a plan for your ambitions too. CIBC. Ambitions made real.
And it's a close one, folks.
This game is stress.
Nah, the Blue Jays got this. Watch.
Bet mode activated.
Hey, tied on the 9th. Everybody breathe.
I feel a run coming.
That tracks. Struggling reliever, advantage, offense.
Blue Jays money line. Lock it in.
Bet placed.
I can't take this anymore.
Swing and a drive. And that ball is out of here!
Oh,
Oh, yeah. You don't have hands. Not you.
Fresh fish.
Whitefish, fresh from the stall. Firm to the touch, no smell at all. Skin off, bones out, thick, not thin. Bring the sea to my kitchen.
I've seen by now, Jakub Dobiš does not go to the bench during the commercial break, stays near his net doing his own routine, no checking in with Jacob Fowler, the backup, but the two are nearly inseparable otherwise, spend a lot of time together off the ice. Fowler said Dobiš actually will watch plays back on the tablet during intermissions. He thought he could never do that if he was the one starting. He sees how aggressive Dobiš has played at time to him. That perfectly symbolizes how he has gone about his career. He has attacked every opportunity he has got, including this one here with a chance to respond after dropping game number 1, Chris.
24-year-old Jakub Dobiš and the backup 21-year-old Jacob Fowler.
Yeah, youth is served. Two of the youngest teams going head-to-head here in round 2, and some great performances. What a battle-back game here for Dobiš.
McLeod on the puck, and now Tage Thompson. A different combination here as Thompson tries to get to the net. He has 5 hits, but without a shot in the series. 2.5 games without a shot for their leading goal scorer. Suzuki will flip it away. McLeod back in for Tuck. Tuck can't get a backhand off against Mike Matheson. McLeod after it again. Anderson takes him out. Puck to the line, Owen Power. Back to Tuck. Dobish plays it to the boards. Matheson will gather that. Thompson had him lined up. He reverses it. Now Peyton Krebs comes on. Here's Krebs. Samuels had lost it. Suzuki stumbled or he would have had a break. It's a penalty against Buffalo as Suzuki couldn't regain his balance.
Watch up to 4 games at once, only with Multiview. Rogers Xfinity. We got you.
So how do you become a Selke nominated forward? Well, here's a great example of you don't have the body advantage here, but you do a great job of taking the lane, good active stick, mirror your man, and then in the right place at the right time. Here's the turnover. Looks like he's going all the way, and just the toe pick there, the stick right on that right foot. Suzuki thought he was going to be able to get up and still get going, then he kind of bobbled again. So obviously not a penalty shot, but just a great shift defensively against the top line of Buffalo. Creates a power play again for the Canadiens.
Canadiens 0 for 2. They've got their second unit out to start. Alex Newhook on the ice, enjoying his first ever multi-goal playoff game.
Boy, how about that if you're the Sabres? You finally win a key draw, and the clearing attempt by Byram actually hits a body and goes out, so you get to start all over again. That little rest, Chris, gives Marty St. Louis the chance to get his top guys out, and you start thinking about timing, an important part halfway through the game. How about Cole Caulfield? Is this maybe the shift or the power play? He can find a way to put the puck in the net.
Zach wins another draw, kept in at the line. Here's Demidov with a hot shot high. But his first shift since the last power play?
I think so.
Suzuki dug that out neatly. Blaine Hudson on the move. Down low, Caulfield, Slafkovsky in the slot. Suzuki quarterbacking things here in front, and that blocked by Timmins. Good hustle by Caulfield and Slafkovsky, and Montreal regains possession. Suzuki, Caulfield, Demidov parks at the back post. And now moves into the slot, through for Slafkovsky, down low, and Ryan got a piece of that with Suzuki at the back door. Here's Suzuki again, their shot blocked. Trying to get it, Demidov drops his stick, but able to disrupt the clear. Slafkovsky, Hudson for Suzuki, a broken stick now for Timmins. Caulfield down low. Here's Suzuki sidestepping Timmins. Caulfield, he couldn't pull the trigger in the backhand. Back to Hudson, one time, Demidov, and he rifled that just wide. Caulfield again, got the look, Demidov going to the back door once again. Here's Slafkovsky, holds into the skates of Suzuki. Now Slafkovsky, watched by Byram. Suzuki across, net off a skate, in behind the net. 15 seconds of power play time, all of it in the Buffalo zone. Caulfield in behind the net. Slafkovsky holding. Caulfield down low, shot, line was stopped, loose at the side of the net. Regained again by Montreal. Penalty done. Pressure continues, and it's Demidov into his skates. Couldn't get it in the wheelhouse. Kept in by Slafkovsky again. Takes it away from Byram. They're out of gas, the penalty killers. Slafkovsky, a hot, sharp angle shot. Hudson hit. Demidov behind the net. Got it loose. Valeno's come on. Fresh troops arrive. Kirby Doc. Timmins on him. He'll grind along the boards. Dug out by Demidov. Here's a shot in front that looks wide. Dobson steps up. Buffalo really out of gas. Matheson able to hook that through to Dobson. It's Valeno chased by Byram. Noah Dobson midpoint. Shooting, that went wide. Without a stick is Greenway. Kozak finally up with the puck. And he'll play that into the Buffalo bench. 4 of the Sabres on the ice over 3 minutes.
All kinds of puck possession time. 2 of the best chances right here on the back door. Byram with the great stick to alleviate a tap in. Suzuki again can't get it past line.
Twisted Tea celebrates all hockey fans. Guys, check it out. No matter who you cheer for. When it comes to our love for hockey and the refreshing taste of Twisted Tea, we're all on the same team. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Good times with a twist.
With Rogers Xfinity Internet, my whole house is ready for baseball. So this is where I buy all my memorabilia. Boom! Just got Clement's childhood glove. Mom. She's really come through for me. And this is where I stream everything.
Sweet setup.
It's all for you guys.
Michael, what is this?
Oh, yeah. That's where I keep my modem.
Get Major League Internet with Rogers Xfinity.
Yeah, Wi-Fi just pouring out of that thing.
Life is filled with rewarding stages. Now, your banking is too. The CIBC Smart Account. Get up to $850.
And it's a close one, folks.
This game is stress.
Nah, the Blue Jays got this. Watch.
Bet mode activated. Hey, tied on the 9th. Everybody breathe.
I feel a run coming.
That tracks. Struggling reliever, advantage, offense.
Blue Jays money line. Lock it in.
Bet placed.
I can't take this anymore.
Swing and a drive. And that ball is out of here!
Oh, yeah. You don't have hands. Not you.
We mentioned just before the game tonight, Martin St. Louis, and you can never take the player out of the coach. Well, how about the coach of the Canadiens? Look at the top of the bench watching the last power play as if he was about ready to jump over the boards and join that first unit. As he said this morning, they are very process-driven, whether they win or lose. The process was plenty good for the Canadiens on that last power play. Just didn't have a goal to show for it, Chris.
That's a live shot that you're seeing there. That's not in the commercial break. That's still going on right now.
What'd you like to see different? I mean, it was great pressure, but...
Yeah. They didn't get the looks for the shot release. They didn't take advantage of the broken stick. And, you know, Caulfield's your guy that you got to get into this series. And too often, Chris, whenever he got the puck, he was down on the goal line. He wasn't in a shooting or a threat position. And I think you got to make a rotation to change that and get him. You got to get him into the series.
Now it comes for Anderson, who barged in against Logan Stanley. Up with the puck is Texier. And it knocked off his stick as Power stuck with him. Now opening up here for Tuck. Across it goes, and that shot goes high. As Tage Thompson unable to hit the target. Anderson trying to clear. That bounced off Stanley and out and played back inside the line. Carrier didn't see the pass coming. Now Anderson able to recover. One hands it in. Deneau goes after that. Changing behind him. And out comes Newhook. Demidov. Here's Ivan Demidov. Wrapping it around for Dobson. An assist on the third goal and a shot into the glove of Alex Lyon.
Discover the magic of BetMGM Casino. Check out a wide variety of table games with a live dealer, roulette, blackjack, and more. Download the BetMGM Ontario app. Please gamble responsibly.
Well, you hear Marty St. Louis talk an awful lot about just puck possession, managing it, right? And, you know, an easy outlet up the board. All of a sudden, now you're back defending again. Those are the little plays that he felt they didn't do very well in Game 1. To this point, Chris, they've been the better team in that regard. But you see how one errant pass in that neutral zone creates an opportunity and transition, and suddenly you're defending for the next 20, 30 seconds.
18-14 the shots, and Evans face off. Win and a shot, a loose puck in front. Knocked away by Norris. And a hand pass will halt play.
Yeah, you almost feel this game. Remember Lindy Ruff talking about their first game of the playoffs when this team that hadn't made it in 14 years, so many of the new guys, they got down 2-0 on home ice against Boston. It took till the third period when they kind of got themselves together, and it was, of all guys, Tage Thompson, who hasn't been able to score since. He scored 2 goals in 3:42 to change the temperature of a game. It kind of feels so similar. I know the score is one more with the Canadiens getting that third one, but not a whole lot of spark happening here for the home team in game 2.
You know, in this building, as is the case in Montreal, a goal can really change momentum.
Yeah.
There's Newhook. Double-barreled attack so far tonight. Has never had a regular season or postseason hat trick. Knocked down by Lyon. In behind the net, Evans. Newhook sweeps it back to Dobson. Across it goes, and that's played to the net, and Lyon knocked that away. Up ahead at center. Taken up there by Boleno.
And the reason why the call is happening is because he got involved in the play. You can make a change if you're not anywhere near, but he jumped on and he impeded the Buffalo Sabres. Marty St. Louis is not going to agree with it, but the player is not quite off. You got in on one door, watch the top left. Oh yeah, like it's clear he stops the play, power play coming up.
Twisted Tea celebrates all hockey fans. Guys, check it out. No matter who you cheer for. When it comes to our love for hockey and the refreshing taste of Twisted Tea, we're all on the same team. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Good times with a twist.
If your old mattress is a pain in the back, it's time to switch.
Get up to 20% off mattresses, sheets, duvets, and more right now at Sleep Country. But hurry, it won't be around for long.
For the love of sleep, Canada, just do it.
Please welcome friend of the pod, Ty. Please tell me you did not start a podcast? People got to hear my takes. No, people got to go with the score.
Bet mode activated. Oh, D-pair's tired. Shots are really piling up.
My gut says overtime, folks. What? No. New York's got this. Lock it in.
Bet placed.
Yeah! We called it! Oh, let's check in with the chat. Mom! You can't say that.
Life is filled with rewarding stages. Now, your banking is too. The CIBC Smart Account. Get up to $850.
So with Rogers Xfinity, you can pull up games, stats, and scores. Blue Jays. Springer Dinger.
May I? Davis Schneider's mustache.
It's beautiful. The technology is amazing.
Sabres power coming up. They trail 3-0 in these playoffs. Adjustments and responses have been a calling card for Montreal again tonight.
Yeah, they always are at playoff time, right? You lose game one, you have to find a way to change your game a little bit. You get more comfortable with the style. You hope your goaltender, who gave up 4, comes back with a great effort. He has. But, Chris, these are the kind of moments, you know, nothing's really gone well for Buffalo, especially on their power play. But you take a penalty like that, too many men on the ice, you give a team an opportunity for life. This is a key point. It might make a difference in this hockey game right here.
The Sabres start with a rare face-off win. Dahlin, a shot that hit Dobish. The rebound collected and cleared by Carrier.
So like we were talking about Cole Caulfield on the Montreal power play, see if they can open up Thompson. He's got to find a way to get some open ice and an opportunity to shoot the puck, which is his best asset.
Checked off his stick, but the Sabres got it back, and Norris gives it back to Thompson. 41 in the regular season. 4 times at least 38 goals in his career. Josh Norris takes a long look. Rasmus Dahlin back. Norris blocked by Newhook, who's had quite a night. Dahlin shooting. A blocker stopped by Dobish. The rebound raked to Thompson. Alex Tuck. Thompson will fire that, miss short side, and that'll boomerang back into the Buffalo zone.
So much like Caulfield, that's not the angle that you want him shooting from. That's a frustrated 72 there, just wasting one high and wide because he's not getting the looks where he needs to.
No goals on his last 19 shots. Still looking for his first shot of this series. Matheson, shoulder check, had time to send it 200 feet. 4 minutes left, second period. And the penalty being served by Demidov has 30 seconds remaining. Jack Quinn over the line. Here's Doan cutting inside. And McLeod got it back from Byron, gives it back. Byron for Quinn, and again the fans get restless. Down low, Benson. Dobish swinging the stick. There's a puck fired across, and Benson can't get a stick on it. Played along the boards, Quinn battles, it comes loose, and flipped away by Matheson. Out comes Demidov, and the Canadiens have killed another. Jack Quinn sends it in after meeting up with Danault. A bouncing puck flipped to the line, not out. Power held the zone. Darlene leaves it. Krebs from distance, and Dobish will reel that back. And they'll have a dog pile in front of the Montreal net. Dobish got pushed there. Looked like Darlene.
We've seen that from Dobish before a couple of times. He took 2 penalties in Tampa early on, knocking down Kucherov coming here, and you know at the end you can see Benson still down.
Matheson buried Benson.
He's still down holding his head, and a lot of discussion between all 4 officials. Now Stanley trying to get in with Caden Cooley. Benson finally getting up, having words.
Bolduc and Benson.
Is that Darlene going over at the end?
Dobish and Darlene
going at it.
And they're still having words. And Dobish is not shy about this. We saw him with Kucherov.
Yeah, he talked about that earlier on. He's not afraid to give it back a little bit. I don't think he's the type of goalie that it means that he's getting rattled at all. I just think he's pretty protective of his area. Benson still trying to get at guys. Here's how it all started at the end. Benson gave a little shove, and you could see Dobish there. And Matheson's got Benson pushed down hard. Where does Darlene and Dobish get into it afterwards, though? Protect the front of the net, protect your goalie. There's that little jab there that Matheson didn't like, and he took offense. Not sure at the end of the day, Chris, trying to look at the bodies. You got Stanley and Gooley, the only ones in there. How does that happen after that? Dobish and Darlene.
So they're so at the penalties with Stanley and Gooley at least in.
I'd like, you know, I think Kelly Rudy, such a mild-mannered guy, so polite and calm, but you get into those moments, and that's where you got to protect your crease. You just, it's not like you're rattled or you're worried or you're getting under my skin, but you got to send the message that I'm not going to be a pushover here, and I think Dobish has done a good job of that. Kelly held his ground, always in his crease as well, would have plenty of things to say to you.
4 skaters aside, Buffalo has not had a goal either way in this situation in the playoffs. Canadiens were scored on once by Tampa Bay, 4-on-4. It came late in the second period of a game where Tampa Bay came back. There's a blocker stop by Dobish. Slafkovsky reversing to Hudson, played it ahead, and that went by Quinn, who had gone to the bench for a new stick, but didn't see it coming.
That was a smart play by Hudson. He's under pressure, saw that play developing, throw it there, so the guy on the bench isn't going to jump over, or Buffalo would have got it too many men. Brilliant play.
Power back, just over 2 minutes left here in the second, and away goes Thompson. He's checked. Nice defensive play by Jake Evans, who's made perhaps the best offensive play of the period on the setup to Newhook. Thompson parked in the blue paint there with Dobish. Trying to get in the rookie goaltender's kitchen. 100 seconds remaining in the period. Carrier ahead. Here comes Matheson over the line. Opened up for him. He put that through the goal mouth. Carrier across. Down low, sharp angle. The rebound. Taken away by Tuck with Carrier coming downhill. Here's Byram at center. They can't work it back to Byram from Samuelson, and rolled in by Suzuki. 15 seconds and 4-on-4 remaining. Samuelson to center. Too far for Norris. Final minute, second period. Benson back out there. Knocked off stride by Dobson. Caulfield back to Dobson. Reversing that, Benson is there. He'll take it away. Up against Hudson. There's a delete shot. Rebound back to the line. Josh Doan, shot blocked by Gourley. Another chance. Tippett scores. Zach Benson. Lindy Ruff said the key to Benson is he always gets to the front of the net.
Well, it's a 1-against-2 at the end of a shift, and he keeps it alive not once but twice, and then does just that. Gets to the front of the net. One great block, and how about that pass across crease? Just does an excellent job of keeping this play alive. Got his head up the whole time. The shot gets blocked, but gets underneath the coverage. Hudson slides by. You've got the other side, Norris in the way, and Benson on the doorstep tipped it in. And the linesman came right after him here because he's chirping at Dovish. Gave him a mouthful, but didn't give him a penalty, Chris. And after nothing going on for the Buffalo Sabres, the late goal gets the crowd back into the hockey game.
A final minute goal here in the second. Benson's third of the playoffs. He had 2 assists the last game, but here's Texier, and Timmins breaks that up. Clock winding down. Canadiens trying to answer. It comes in front. And the Benson chance come up with the clock draining in the second, but Buffalo has restored a little life in the building. 2-2 in game 2. Zach Benson's third from Connor Timmins and Josh Doan. 19-22. The time of the goal that gets Buffalo within 2. Alex Newhook with the Canadiens goal in the second. And our second intermission with Ron and the gang is coming up.
Today I'm gonna make them believe.
If your old mattress is a pain in the back, it's time to switch.
Get up to 20% off mattresses, sheets, duvets, and more right now at Sleep Country. But hurry, it won't be around for long.
For the love of sleep, Canada, just do it.
If Connor McDavid and Connor Bedard had childhood ambitions to become architects, CIBC would work with them every step of the way. Or if they wanted to be mechanics, we'd have a personalized plan. Just like we'll have a plan for your ambitions too. CIBC. Ambitions made.
I like thin ham.
Thin?
Big sliced, honey sweet. When all he wants is a different meat. Thin enough you can see right through me. I wanna make the sandwich of your dreams.
And it's a close one, folks.
This game is stress.
Nah, the Blue Jays got this. Watch.
Bet mode activated.
Hey, tied on the 9th. Everybody breathe.
I feel a run coming.
That tracks. Struggling reliever, advantage, offense.
Blue Jays money line. Lock it in.
Bet placed.
I can't take this anymore.
Swing and a drive. And that ball is out of here.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. You don't have hands. Not you.
Donate your car at carsforkids.ca. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also benefit a child and get a maximum tax credit.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. I got dreams in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't go. I got dreams in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't go.
Hudson fire scores!
I got dreams in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't go. But the heart still rattles, the heart still rattles, oh.
The Ford, it's a big... It's a... event? The Ford It's a Big Deal event. Right now, lease this Explorer for $258 bi-weekly. That's like $129 a week.
$3,995 a month. That's what it costs to lease a John Deere 210V excavator from Brandt. Maximize your earning potential. Minimize your investment. Select in-stock units only. Bank on Brandt.
Barbecue Brawl on Food Network.
Stanley Cup playoffs on Sportsnet brought to you by Rogers. 3-1 Canadiens. Go ahead, Kev.
Well, just a reminder what happened in Game 1. It's 2-0 Buffalo, and just before the first period's over, Montreal scores to make it 2-1. And then going into the third, again, it's 4-1 Buffalo. Montreal scores just before to go up 4-2. So there's my theory. You tell me if it's wild or not. I think Buffalo just did Montreal a favor. By scoring at the end of the period, it makes it a game again. It's 3-1. So now Montreal, instead of going into the locker room up 3-0, loosey-goosey, high-five and taping their white sticks, joking around, now they go in and they're like urgent, like, holy crap, we're in a game here, let's buckle down. And Buffalo, I know they have to score goals to tie it and win, but I think scoring at the end of the period, if I'm Montreal, you just got a favor.
I like it, but I'm not going to give you credit, so I'm just going to say it's the dumbest thing
ever.
I am with you, because I used to hate when we'd have a large margin going into, say, the third period. And as you said, all the guys are having fun, and I'm grinding away. I'm thinking this third period is just not going to be fun because the other team, they're going to just blitz us.
Tiebreaker.
I'm definitely with you. I think it's a favor. I think Buffalo also did him a favor with the Benson hit on Caulfield right at the start of the game. They kept targeting the Stars, and I think Montreal woke up. Benson, we'll get to Newhook in a bit. He deserves a lot of praise too. But Benson, I mentioned when he was an 18-year-old, played the Stanley Cup champion Vegas Golden Knights in his rookie year, scored this great goal. He did that play, and then it eventually will come to him for the nice backhand move. We'll get two looks at this. Again, remember, he's an 18-year-old kid against the Stanley Cup champions. Don Granato was his coach at the time and said this in the locker room afterwards.
Everybody in this room had to contribute tonight, so great work. Smurf said it best. They got Benny. Where's Benny? Nice job, Benny.
They knew they had something special in Benny right away.
And Benny was wearing number 9 there. Now he's wearing 6 because Josh Norris came in. And what did he get out of it? He got a nice gift.
Something. It was a Louis bag or something.
He got something nice to give up the number. But he didn't give up his skill set in his game. And tonight, it's an eventful guy. Like, there's a lot going on, and he's got a chip to him. He's obviously got speed and skill, but he goes at goalies. But here's some of the skill and creativity, trying to knock the defenseman's stick away before he makes a play. You know, he's on the ice, but the whole time he's okay, because you're going to see him pop up right here, and Dobich is trying to get his stick, and he's trying to sell something. He gets up, and he's right into no hesitation chirp mode, going at Bolduc. But he backs it up with his skill, and he's really creative in the offensive zone. He's great around that. He's gritty. And then again with the chirping to Dobich, linesman's like, bro, stop it. And he's still celebrating. Lindy Ruff's got to do a good job of keeping him together and tame, but allowing his play with emotion, because he's a great player.
And again, Brendan Dillon will join us and will tell us Sunday why he has all that skill.
Yeah. Okay, so Luke, in pregame, you talked about Buffalo and their speed and skill and all that, but they are physical. Like, they are out hitting Montreal 32-14, and it started early. They were really going after, and Ron, you mentioned how they're going after a lot of the stars, and here's a big hit on Hudson. How about Benson? He went after Caulfield twice in that first period that all of us noticed. There's no question about it. And you wonder in a series like this, which you think is going to be a long series, will these add up? Here's Dobson. You guys were talking about taking a hit to make a play on the Newhook goal. And these are massive, massive hits that you wonder,
Montreal, they're a smaller team, they're a younger team. Buffalo, definitely that's part of their mindset.
On their back end, their D are super, super aggressive, and rightfully so. These guys, Dahlin, Power, Byram, they should be jumping the rush, and they should be up in the play, but it comes back to bite them in a three-part series here. You can see Dahlin, he's down, he's in. Samuelsson a little too aggressive. This is the first period. Suzuki gets a great chance, and that's a nice stop by Lyon. I know this is the power play, but Samuelson's stick breaks. Look how low Byram is. Jake Evans, just a little bit of a bad bounce, but they're going to get an offensive chance out of this. And why not a third time? Look at all 5 blue sweaters underneath the dots. This is going to allow Jake Evans again on the same penalty kill to get up ice. They're a little lazy getting back. Newhook does a great job beating him to the back post, and it's in the back of the net. A 3-part series just came back to bite them a little bit.
That's reckless. They need a Brendan Dillon in their lineup. They need a stay-at-home defenseman.
Steady.
David, Elliott, to you.
All right, Ron, they love the blue-collar players, especially here in Buffalo, and maybe a new fan favorite has to be Benson.
You can tell whenever the locker room opens, the media goes right to Benson, and he's right next to Alex Lyon. It's a big media combination. They love them here, and the fans love them too. You can tell that Benson's popularity in the market is surging, just the amount of jerseys. And the one thing he says is, he was asked, do you notice that you've become a fan favorite here? And he kind of smiled, and we pulled it out of him. He said, especially when he goes to the grocery store. He said it is constant there. He'll be walking in an aisle, and there'll be kids poking their heads down the aisle. Is that really him? Is that really him? The love affair between the Buffalo fans and Benson is growing.
Personifies the attitude of the blue-collar work ethic here. Really quickly, Team Kevin or Team Luke as far as the third period?
Kevin's right, but I'm always Team Gazdick.
By the way, listen, Buffalo scored 4 goals in the third period of Game 1 versus Boston, so this game is far from over. Hopefully Montreal could use that as a little motivation, though, going into the third.
Hey, Elliot, your tarps off reporting. Have you noticed Alex Newhook likes to have his upper gear off right before games? Certainly everybody has. There he was just before in the Tampa series. Twice we caught him. There he is in the pregame. He's looking for a hat trick. He'd be the first Hab ever to have one in Buffalo in Stanley Cup playoff history. Maybe not in his gear all the time, but he can get into gear.
This intermission is brought to you by Rogers. The dream goes on. This is our game.
If your old mattress is a pain in the back, it's time to switch.
Get up to 20% off mattresses, sheets, duvets, and more right now at Sleep Country. But hurry, it won't be around for long.
For the love of sleep, Canada, just do it.
Think you know Proline? Think again, because this ain't the old Proline. The new app is here. And now, betting with Proline Plus has never been easier. Download the new app today.
Every new Hyundai vehicle sold supports Hyundai Hope on Wheels and its mission to help end childhood cancer. With more than $4 million donated across Canada this year, Hyundai and its dealers are just getting started. To help kids put cancer in the rearview mirror.
So with Rogers Xfinity, you can pull up games, stats, and scores. Blue Jays. Springer Dinger. May I? Davis Schneider's mustache. It's beautiful. The technology is amazing.
And it's a close one, folks.
This game is stress.
Nah, the Blue Jays got this. Watch.
Bet mode activated.
Hey, tied on the 9th. Everybody breathe.
I feel a run coming.
That tracks. Struggling reliever, advantage, offense.
Blue Jays money line. Lock it in.
Bet placed.
I can't take this anymore.
Swing and a drive. And that ball is out of here!
Oh,
Oh, yeah. You don't have hands. Not you.
Debt stress doesn't just affect your finances. It affects your sleep, your relationships, your peace of mind. But the good news is, you have options. At the Credit Counseling Society, we help you with practical steps to put you back in control. And knowing someone's in your corner, that's peace of mind. So don't wait. Pick up the phone today. We're here to help. When debt's got you, you've got us.
An unbelievable 8th inning. They've scored 8 runs on 8 batters.
And the Blue Jays have just continued to parade hitters out there one after another.
Let's brawl.
They pick their teams from the best barbecue talent in the country.
This is the best cook on any meat that I've had today.
You ready to kick some barbecue brawl butt?
Barbecue Brawl on Food Network.
Stanley Cup playoffs on Sportsnet, presented by Instacart. Get groceries delivered in as fast as 60 minutes. Now, tomorrow's Hockey Central show, everyone, Sportsnet Pacific. That's where we have to go. There's a lot going on tomorrow, including the Jays. Messi's in Toronto tomorrow. It's a big day. But listen, we're at 5:30 ET, 2:30 Pacific on Sportsnet Pacific, followed by the doubleheader from Philadelphia and Minnesota. Back to Chris Craig and Kyle. Montreal 3, Buffalo 1-2 on Hockey Night in Canada.
Setting the perfect scene. Nice travels.
Rover, go on, get me my slippers. Rover, the slippers. Ah, silly dog.
So much for silly Doug. Red Bull gives you wings.
As the official fuel of the NHL, Esso is dedicated to Canada's game. Visit esso.ca/Stanley Cup for a chance to win one of 3 trips to a Stanley Cup final game.
I'll call you back some other time. Are you gonna be alright? Are you gonna be alright?
Old Spice Fiji gives me 24/7 freshness. It's gentle on my skin, and it's mine.
I thought we had no secrets.
Oh, hey, what do you mean?
Your Old Spice Fiji with 24/7 freshness?
How did you know?
I can smell coconuts and palm trees all over you. And because of the mirror.
Babe, I just wanted something for me.
That's why I got all this Old Spice Fiji.
Oh, for me?
For me.
I thought we had no secrets.
Get no markups at select retailers on Instacart. Fees and exclusions.
So with Rogers Xfinity, you can pull up game stats and scores. Blue Jays. Springer Dinger. May I? Davis Schneider's mustache. It's beautiful. The technology is amazing.
And it's a close one, folks.
This game is stress.
Nah, the Blue Jays got this. Watch.
Bet mode activated.
Hey, tied on the 9th. Everybody breathe.
I feel a run coming.
That tracks. Struggling reliever, advantage, offense.
Blue Jays money line. Lock it in.
Bet placed.
I can't take this anymore.
Swing and a drive. And that ball is out of
Sailed it.
here.
Oh, yeah. You don't have hands. Not you.
The Ford, it's a big... It's a... event? The Ford It's a Big Deal event. Right now, lease this Explorer for $258 bi-weekly. That's like $129 a week.
Go
coast to coast, the battle for glory is on. Watch the Northern Super League all season on CBC Gem. Now let's join Kyle, who's rocking somewhere at Quebec Center.
Chris, it's a star-studded night here in Buffalo. John Resnick of the Goo Goo Dolls, Buffalo's very own. So I think better days. I mean, almost 20 years ago, that took over the playoff run here. But amazingly, this is your first playoff game here in Buffalo. So
I've never been to a playoff game before. Never.
So what do you think?
It's so exciting. I mean, this place is amazing. I mean, Buffalo has got so much pride, and I like. It's just a great town. You know, for sports, for food, everything. It's just, you know, everybody here is just salt of the earth, you know? I miss it. You know?
For you growing up, I mean, who was your favorite player? Who did you love watching the most?
Well, it was when I was growing up, it was all about the French Connection, you know? And Rick Martin. Oh, my God, it was Rick Martin, you know? But you know, it's exciting to see him back. I'm so happy for the whole town, you know? Something like this happens, it's good for everybody, you know?
So one thing before we go, so part of the Hockey Night in Canada tradition, every time you do a player interview, you hand out the towel. So I thought the next time you're playing in a downpour, if nothing else, you've got a towel to dry you off.
Oh, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Have a great night. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Chris.
Good stuff. And it is a good town. Buffalo. I'm not sure about Kevin. Let's put it this way. The Canadiens don't need any more favors from Buffalo tonight. With a 3-1 lead heading into the third period. And a stat that I had to double check. Montreal 0-2 in these playoffs when leading after 2.
That didn't go well in the Tampa series for that. Mind you, they didn't have a 2-goal lead going into a third period at any point in that one on those 2 attempts.
Byron flips it in. Noah Dobson sends it around. Texier enveloped there by Power, who moved up. Buffalo trying to start aggressively here in the third. Trying to follow up the momentum created by the last minute second period goal by Benson. That's rolled down the ice. Race for it here. Danault trying to beat out Byram, and icing is the call.
Watch up to 4 games at once, only with Multiview. Rogers Xfinity. We got you.
But you agreed with Kevin's point, at least, that it gets their attention, doesn't it?
Well, the one thing, you can't lose this series, obviously, tonight. But when you have a 3-0 lead, you got to know the importance of getting that one home. And it becomes even maybe more to the forefront of your mind.
There's a chance for the Sabres. Zucker, side of the net, and can't beat Dobish in tight.
When you give up one. I think what Kevin knows, like we always said early on, you've heard me many times, a 3-goal lead early in a game, first period, second period, you've played so well and you've executed your game plan to perfection, you've got the lead, you can't help but go in, and there's a tendency not to come out with that same intensity and that same attention to detail. And I think that's the point that Kevin is making. That goal's kind of a slap in the face. There hasn't been much adversity. Suddenly you get it. See how they handle it here.
Zucker off the draw now. Evans able to work it loose. Look at lead. Hudson, hop on a puck. Go to the attack. Flip the backhand, and he missed the target, but jumping here to start the third. In behind the net, Canadiens work it loose. Hudson there to hold the zone, and he surprise Lion. That almost got past the Buffalo netminder. Darlene dove to able to redirect that. Not only wiped out the icing, but directed it on goal. Put through for Newhook. Taken away by Samuelson. Up ahead it goes from Josh Doan to the attack, but he stopped up just inside the line. Strong play there by Jacky. Connor Timmins, who's registered his first ever Stanley Cup playoff point. An assist on the Benson goal.
And a heck of an assist. He had his head up the whole way there instead of just blasting it on the net. He went tape to tape for a Benson tap in there.
Samuelson redlining in. Matheson had it skip over his stick. Benson on the ice again. Matheson ahead. Power stepped up. Activated to hold the zone. Zach Benson shot. That went off Matheson, taken away by Bolduc. as it rolls back to the Buffalo line.
Chris, great box out there by Carrier, making sure Doan didn't get into the eyes of his goaltender. That really gave them trouble in game one. They've been much better at it here in game two.
Oh, Power spots Tuck on the attack, and Dovish stops that and knocks it to the boards. Byram walks the line. Power fires, glove stop, and a confident one by Jakub Dovish.
It almost seemed like Dovish was talking either to himself or the Sabres there, but here's just the quick little turn and the knuckleballer. Oh, it did move. Look at the reaction of Lyon. It looked like it just dropped out to the left, and then these are the little battles that I don't think the Montreal Canadiens did well enough in game one. The last two goals were both screens, and you see the importance there for Carrier. There's no way Doan's going to get into the eyes of his goaltender. Does a great job without taking a penalty to box him out.
Well, Lindy Ruff continues this line tweak of McLeod with Tuck and Thompson. Peyton Krebs started on the line with Thompson and Tuck. Another face-off win, and that bounced down the ice. Anderson gets there first, so he negates the icing. Tuck trying to come up with it behind the net. Thompson there, now Deneau swings it back for Texier behind the net. Power there, and now Byram. An outlet to Thompson. A hit on the left side for Tuck. Staying onside was McLeod. A centering pass broken up. Texier lost it in front of the net. Thompson in too tight and couldn't get a shot away. Tage Thompson back to the line for Power. Back to Thompson. And off balance, he corkscrews himself into the ice. It's a 2-on-1. It's Carrier. Scores! Alex Carrier! And it's 4-1 Montreal.
Boy, and the unheralded defensive-minded guy comes up with just a huge goal. Look at the reaction as Carrier made some great plays defensively. And you know here, Thompson, I thought he might try for the wraparound that side. Instead, he comes back. Good stick by Matheson, good control, and then now a minute 3 into a shift, lose your balance. And how about this? Having the confidence on your offside, you know that the pass isn't really there, and Carrier just rips that one exactly where he needed to put it. Quick release off the bar and in, and what a shift there. First goal in 21 couldn't be bigger to restore that 3-goal lead.
His defensive partner scored in the opening period, so he matches that. And the Canadiens get their 3-goal lead back, and Tage Thompson running that play through his mind.
Yeah, so you look at the mindset there and you go, I can't believe I did that. You know, fatigue does so much to your body, to your mind. Look, he's got no legs coming back either. A little turnover, and you know those moments. Okay, I'm not going to say it's because they got scored on in the last minute for Kevin in the second period, but that is a big start here. 4 minutes into this period, you get the 3-goal lead back.
Face-off win, and Jackeye lets it fly. 91.5 miles an hour from Arbor Jackeye. Carrier had 7 in the regular season. He had 5 at a 9-goal span in the month of November where everything went in. Canadiens have the energy now after that 4th goal. Doc back to the line for Gooley. Gooley tied up by Mallenstein. We haven't seen him since that big collision with Demidov early in the second period, an icing call against Buffalo.
I can tell you on your bench, it matters who scores and how they score at different times. You know the pressure's going to come from Sabres, and all of a sudden you get a guy who's so well liked, who plays his job so well defensively. He's made a huge impact since coming over from Nashville last year, and again here, what an impactful early goal in the third. After a good box-out defensive play, he does the offense and jumped up and puts it right where he needed to.
Canadiens had 2 defensive goals. Here's Dobson letting it fly. 2 goals from Lane Hudson against Tampa Bay, and now 2 tonight from Blue Liners. Dobson looking to add to the list. Comes back to the line. It's Hudson again. Hudson sidestepping Greenway. Back for Suzuki. There is Dobson. Handing it off, but it's outside the line. They'll have to regroup at center. 5 minutes into the third.
Listen to what that goal does to this crowd, too. It's just deathly quiet when all the emotion at the end of the second, the energy in the building. You've just snuffed it back out there with that huge goal.
There's Peyton Krebs with a move dashing into the zone, and that shot ends up on the screen.
Love the NHL? Bet99 Sportsbook and Casino brings every shot, goal, and storyline to life. Experience it your way. Download the Bet99 app.
They're back on the case with chemistry that's just as dangerous as the crime's wild cards. All episodes available to stream now on CBC Gem. There's a Buffalo face-off win. Stanley breaks the stick of Demidov, and Newhook able to kick that out. Both teams were tied at 1 through the first 2 games of the opening round. Buffalo and Boston, Montreal and Tampa Bay. Here's Newhook looking for some help. Finds Evans, and it's knocked off his stick. Back pressure from Benson. Connor Timmins, a stretch for Doan. Knocked off his stick to Benson. Benson across, and that hopped on Norris. It looked like he had a sure goal. Norris again, and Dovish gets a piece of that. Sabres threatening, and Power sends it wide. Owen Power at the line and knocked off his stick to center.
How about again the playmaking of Benson made it look like he froze the goaltender thinking he was going to shoot, and then delivered, and Norris just broke his stick going to the bench. I think Anderson did a great job of getting his stick in there as well.
Tuck flying in. Dovish stopped that. Tuck up on it again. Back to Byram. Back for Tuck. Shooting, and that's sent wide. On it is McLeod. He plays it wide of the cage. Power stepping up. He's been active here tonight, but now away goes Deneau. Deneau jumping was Dobson. He's in behind the net, and that went off Lyon on the centering pass from Dobson. Deneau cycling it back behind the net is Doc. In front! And that one stopped as Bolduc was set up. And a nice play by Doc. Jack Quinn the other way. Hands it off to Dahlin, gets it back. Now a Rick-wide pass intended for Byram, and Valeno gobbled that up. Byram gets back. McLeod turning with changes underway. Rasmus Dahlin, his pass off a Canadian stick and cleared. Onto the right side, Krebs trying to dash in. Checked there by Carrier, played to the line but not out. Dahlin checked. Good takeaway there by Bolduc, and he bounces it down. Matthias Samuelsson was a big part of the third period comeback in Game 1 against Boston. 8 minutes into this third period, Samuelsson to center. Swings wide. In and around behind the net. Samuelsson back on it. Here's Krebs. Peyton Krebs for Samuelsson, blocked by Slavkovsky. Here's Krebs. Back in, Zucker. Break wide, good stick by Gooley. In behind the net, it's Hudson. Around for Suzuki. Slavkovsky at his own line, he'll play it back. No pressure as Buffalo's changing.
You can see the difference in the confidence defensively in Game 2. You know, the look of your offensive opponent kind of surprised them a little bit in the first game. Buffalo had their way on a lot of those cycles, and instead just good defensive zone, good coverage, checkoffs, and not a whole lot happening even when the puck is in the Montreal zone.
Kept in by Dobson. Noah Dobson in front. Not all the way back to Matheson. In behind the net, Demidov looks for it. Newhook up with it. Demidov centers Evans. Lyon the save. Off Jake Evans from point-blank range. Bounce down the ice, and Benson gets there. Benson checked by Matheson. What a setup for Jake Evans.
What a statement for Lyon there. You know, he just came flying outside of his blue paint to try to close the gap, take away the angles, and knowing one more is going to be for sure the end. Keeps it to 3.
Tuck in, and that'll be absorbed by Dobish. 4-1 Montreal on the goal by Carrier, and a big stop here by Lyon as Evans look for another.
Meet our Chief Tough Officer. He does extremely tough tests.
So when a product survives him,
it's ready.
Gorilla Glue for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Nice to meet you. Hey, so, did you? I got it. Yes. Look at
Twisted Tea celebrates all hockey fans. Guys, check it out. No matter who you cheer for. When it comes to our love for hockey and the refreshing taste of Twisted Tea, we're all on the same team. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Good times with a twist.
GMC drivers know that not every job site has concrete. Some are carved out by water, weather, and time. The GMC Sierra Pro Graphite answers with power and authority to find footing just about anywhere. Ready for the moments you only get by being there first. GMC, we are professional grade.
Delivery of the game presented by Instacart. Get groceries delivered in as fast as 60 minutes. Well, if you heard Alex Newhook read the starting lineup before Game 2 here tonight, you knew he was going to be shot out of a cannon in this one. Opened the scoring 96 seconds in, added a second, looking for a hat trick. No player in the playoffs as a visitor has come into Buffalo and scored a hat trick in NHL history. It's not just the offense, the defensive positioning too. He said yesterday it's one thing to know what the Sabres were going to do. It was another thing to live it in Game 1. The Canadiens have looked much more prepared through Game 2 tonight, Chris.
And Newhook's been a big part of it. Really set the tone with that goal a minute 36 in. And we approach the midway mark of the third. As the Canadiens look for the split. Texier behind the net. There's McLeod. Back to Power. Byram. Rink wide it goes. Jack Quinn. Wings in, swings that back across. McLeod in deep. Now it's Tuck with McLeod. Oh, a big hit on McLeod. It's a reverse hit by Carrier that gets his attention. So it's Quinn, McLeod, and Tuck, a different combination for Lindy Ruff. Owen Power downhill. Got it back. Knocked away from Quinn, but not out. The former 67 sends it into the corner. Carey up ahead and out to center.
Another example, just good defensive cover. You know, the active D of Buffalo can be hard to cover as a forward. They've done a much better job here in Game 2 of doing so.
There's Tage Thompson looking like he wants to atone. And that puck is deflected out of play. A goal for Carrier in the third, and a big hit here on Ryan McLeod.
What are we laughing at?
What's this?
Oh, it's an offering to the hockey gods.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore. Yeah, next time, just buy us a beer. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mortals. Am I right?
The Chevrolet Bolt is back with huge tech upgrades to keep you connected wherever, whenever. The Bolt is so back.
Hello, chefs.
Welcome to Top Chef Carolinas.
Here to go up against the best.
This is Michelin-style cooking.
Anyone ever heard of the Carolina Reaper?
Now we're cooking.
Is anyone sweating yet?
Here comes Perro, leading the rush for Buffalo into the Rangers. Oh, a great move! 89 goal, he scored! Mayday! 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 Mayday!
Two of the great voices in the history of the game have called this proud franchise. Alex Tuch was acquired from Vegas, and he wasn't in the lineup the first night. We just happened to be doing the game, and next door was Rick Jenneret, and Tuch spent most of the night in their broadcast booth. He just wanted to hang out with RJ because he was a Western New York kid who grew up cheering for the Sabres.
The voice of his childhood, right? I mean, you see that so often, and what a fit Tuch has been. And, you know, he was a big part of that first round, scoring 4 big goals there. There's Rick. You miss him, and every Buffalo Sabres fan thinks of his voice with all the moments of the past in the last 25 years.
And Ted Darling with the French connection, and Danny Gare scoring 50 goals. Franchise made an impact almost right from the get-go. Zucker sends it in. 30.5 to go here in the third. A giveaway, and Dahlin works his way in. Fires that. Gets his own rebound. Centers a chance here, and that's blocked. Nice block there by Slavkovsky. Gobish out of the net. Takes matters into his own hands. Gets it to Suzuki. Surrounded along the boards. Buffalo swarming the puck. But now out is Slavkovsky with Caulfield. 2-on-1. Slavkovsky. And the rebound kicked wide of the net. Looked like he wanted Caulfield almost all the way. Here's a chance, and Valeno stopped by Lyon.
You know, the defensive structure for the Montreal Canadiens, they hung in there when the pressure was happening, and then what happens? Well, you know that Buffalo's bringing everything, so that can create the odd man rush. There was no way Dahlin was letting that puck go across to Caulfield. If you saw the way he played it, Slavkovsky, you're right, Chris. You know, you want to get 13 going, but Dahlin was just leaving the shooter to his goaltender. The pass across never made it, and that's one I'm sure if he could do under different circumstances, Slavkovsky would have shot that one automatically.
Under 8 minutes left. Shots 27-25, Montreal. Here comes Zach Benson, the lone Sabre goal scorer. Stopped inside the line. Power holds the zone. That shot, Dobish to stop. Loose puck swiped away by Doc. Byram nearly lost it. Watched by Bolduc. Powers pass off Valeno. Benson able to bank it in. Dobson up the boards. That's off Byram. Come up and clipped him in the chin, but he stays on the puck. Weaves in. Trying to get it to Benson. Back for Byram. Trying to pivot away from Bolduc. Centers. Down goes Norris. And unable to make a play. Fans wanted a call as Norris got knocked out or tripped up in front of the net. Now there's going to be a call. An elbowing penalty.
I think it's going to be
Byram.
Byram gets it. Yeah, just a little frustration there as, you know, the Canadiens have done a pretty solid job in the defensive zone. Not giving any open ice. Benson gets a little shot in first, and then the second one, the puck's already gone. And as we saw with the Jack-Eye penalty, let a few things go. It wasn't a whole lot, but the puck was so far gone. I think the official was just saying, I gave you the first one, I'm not going to give you the second.
And Byram gave him the Buffalo chicken wing. So a power play to add to the lead or take 2 more minutes off the clock.
Yeah, either way, you know, a positive, obviously, but you've got to keep that intensity up here. Don't sag whatsoever. This is a Sabre team that scored 11 shorthanded goals during the regular season.
There's Hudson to work. The slingshot back to Suzuki. Into the zone, drops it off. Demidov. That got past Slavkovsky, but Caulfield's on it. Back in wide. The Demidov shot takes a bite out of Samuelson. Gets it again. Lane Hudson, Demidov. And Samuelson deflects that to the boards. Retrieved by Slavkovsky. Worked over along the boards. And Suzuki digs it out. Caulfield off the crossbar. It doesn't go.
You could just see the look on his face. He absolutely, the one good sign you love of that's his instinctive shot. There is no hesitation. He just absolutely ripped that one.
That was the 51-goal release, wasn't it?
It was, and that's the sign that you got to take positively out of it.
Allenstein works his way in short-handed, a centering pass. Greenway on it. Hands it off to Power. Back over to Stanley. And they'll work back to the Sabre line. 40 seconds of power play time left, and Mallenstein digs in. Lost the puck. Evans trying to get away. Stanley and Power regroup. That goes off Kozak. Benson out there trying to create a turnover. 10 seconds left in the penalty, and we've got 5 minutes remaining here in the third. There's Benson dancing in behind the net and ridden off there. Newhook back for Matheson. So it becomes 2 minutes off the clock in a 3-goal Montreal lead. Down to 4:33 to go.
Well, you know the frustration for Caulfield, but good things coming. He was in the right place, got the opportunity, just backed up to give him a little bit of room, and that quick release has scored plenty of goals this season. That time luck wasn't there, but the process and the release was.
Get this, switching your home and auto insurance to Allstate could save you over $1,100. But what exactly does that feel like? Yes! Combine your home and auto insurance and you could save more than $1,100.
It's Miller time. When the clock seems to slow down. And to appreciate it, Miller Lite's got great taste in all 90 calories. It's Miller time.
See Europe's wild side. Nice travels.
Rover, go on, get me my slippers. Rover, the slippers. Ah, silly dog.
So much for silly Doug. Red Bull gives you wings.
Introducing Subway's Wannabe Spicy Menu. From mild piri-piri ranch chicken to wild hot honey chicken to wicked Nashville-style deli. All on new ghost pepper bread with fiery flavors like new hot honey sauce. How spicy do you want to be?
These days, it seems like you're always up against the clock. So count on Jiffy Lube for fast, dependable, warranty-approved service.
Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving.
Well, for Cole Caulfield, you look at during the regular season, his average shot distance was 23.5, and you look at the heat map to say where can he score. He's always in tight. He's got the quick release. In playoff time, it's been 9 feet further out, 32.5. This is just a great shot that doesn't go in, Chris. And I think that's the thing that during the regular season, when you have your ups and downs, you got to go through those and just shake them off. His longest regular season, didn't score in 6. He hasn't had a point in 4, but he did go 12 goals in 11 games to get to that 51 point, and you know it's going to turn around. The hardest thing you have to do is keep your mind settled, be kind to yourself, do the things that you do instinctively well, and I thought that shot was a good example of it. It just didn't go in.
Byram lost the handle. Anderson dumps it in behind the net.
Lions looking to go. They are going to bring
go. Extra attacker's going to come on. It's turned over at center. Suzuki onto the right side. Tage Thompson has come on. So they need 3. They get the extra guy out right now, and Suzuki makes it a 5-1 Montreal lead. He has goals in 3 straight games.
And Chris, it's again a better defensive game all around for the Canadiens on the road. I think the different look at the Sabres, the speed that they had in the first game, got them off. You played 7 games of tight checking hockey against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Then all of a sudden it was a little different in game 1. This has been much more like the play defensively that the Canadiens had against Tampa. Not a lot of room in the defensive zone, good sticks in the neutral zone. And despite the 6-on-5, a good turnover creates the empty net goal. And plenty of Montreal Canadiens fans left in this building happy with the Game 2 result.
More blue than red in the stands at the start, but maybe not now, as a lot of Buffalo fans making their way to the exits here. And the Olays that started at 6 o'clock tonight, starting up again. There's a steal. Bolduc almost had a chance. Alex Tuck strides through center. Quinn looks to center. McLeod. Logan Stanley sends that around, and Connor Timmins had moved up the centering pass, and Kirby Dach alone to play that away. And we got Dooley tied up with Timmins. Or excuse me, Bolduc. I was going to say Keaton Gooley actually went to the Canadiens' room briefly. He is back. Pass from Allenstein, trying to split the Canadiens' defense. Mike Matheson on the scene. 5 block shots of the game for Matheson. It'll be a point shot by Power that ends up wide, and a penalty coming up. And there's Anderson taking shots at Greenway. Not sure if Greenway was getting the initial call. There'll be more.
There's no question Anderson is going as well. As you can see, all the pointing going on. And Greenway, who had such an effective game 1, not just with the goal, but with his physical presence, just shows you when you're chasing a game like Buffalo has here in game 2, not able to get your 3rd and 4th lines as effective. There's a couple of cross checks and chops, and Greenway at this point not doing anything. He's not even responding to it. He's almost ignoring it. And
that's just the 1 penalty, and it's Anderson, of course.
How do you only get 1 penalty out of that? If I think that's what Greenway's thinking. Okay, you already got 1. How do you not get another one there? He got a lot of free shots in.
Got his money's worth.
Did he ever?
So a power play with 2:42 remaining. For Buffalo.
Not lost is for Lindy Ruff. I'm surprised he's not arguing more why there weren't more power play opportunities on that play alone. How many shots did Josh Anderson get in there for the price of 2 minutes?
Well, we wanted to salute Jakub Dobiš in game one, and it got away from the Canadiens early enough that we couldn't, but he was the first rookie goaltender since this group. And what a group to join. Legendary.
How good is that? Yeah, the legends on the left side, the Hall of Famers.
As he gets set to go back to Montreal, and Canadiens fans will be saluting him and the entire team for the first time at home since the Lightning win. It'll be exactly a week since the Game 7 victory. Game 3 on Sunday night. Here's a shot that's blasted wide. Under 2.5 to go. Sabres 6-on-4. Ryan off. Newhook on the ice. He's got 2. There's a blast that hits Dobish. Loose in front. Newhook had a stick on it. Evans plays it away.
Again, by that stretch now, Dobish just trying to stay as close as he can to where the traffic is in front. Cut off any deflections there, and he did an excellent job of getting a piece of that one, even though I don't think he saw it.
McLeod hits the line, gets it to Doan, kicks it back for Byram. A power play goal in game 1. McLeod scored in game 1. And Krebs centering it, knocked back towards him. McLeod for Byram. 90 seconds remaining. And now play stopped in front.
I was just going to say, it's take a free shot time right now, and Benson took a couple, got away with it. Guys on both sides, and you just wait to what moment is the official going to say, okay, come on, you get a slash, you get one, you get one, you get one over there, Doan, and then finally, probably official talking to everyone, and then this last one just had enough and say, you better stop that. And Dobish, for good measure, man, listen to him chatting and chopping there. Again, I know when you watch those, I lived it all the time. You see, there's like 12 penalties on the play, and for both of those, Anderson and Benson, you end up with just one.
So as the series ages, so it does the dislike between the two teams.
You always feel it's going to, but you know, I think Marty St. Louis said it before this game. We have that ability. We've learned how to adjust, execute our game plan, make our changes. And Chris, they've come into game 2 and done just that right from the get-go, scoring the first 2 and playing a heck of a road game.
Complete control from the 4:27 mark on when they established a 2-goal lead. Buffalo did them a favor late in the second. And the Canadiens have responded with an airtight performance here in the third. Veleno backtracking in the final minute.
Well, if this game was in the 70s or 80s, there's probably be gloves on the ice at the end of this one. Doesn't look like it's going to get to that point.
Well, Jack,
who knows? I might have spoke too quickly.
Just took a run at Connor Timmins and now backtracks. He's going to leave a mark or 2 before this is over. That one fired around with under a half minute to go. And it's probably no accident that our Jackeyes out there to finish this up. Montreal fans savoring this. They get the split. They go back to Montreal Sunday night. How loud do you think that's going to be with this series, even at 1 game apiece? Jakub Dobish with a bounce-back performance, 25 stops. Alex Newhook pacing the way with a pair of goals in this one. The first at 1:36. Mike Matheson ends up with the game winner. That came at 4:27. of the opening period. So the Canadiens bounce back. They're now 4-0 after a loss in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Game 3 on Sunday in Montreal with the series tied. More when we come back.
This is the best.
Yeah. Just wish Amy was here.
Nice.
Hey. Hey, guys.
Welcome, brother.
Perfect. It's not easy.